on the
Magical.
left.
Good evening. Welcome back to Sci-Fi Chronicles. I'm here with my good friend, the mega geek Ian David Diaz. How you doing, my friend? You all right?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing fine. Let's
Good
get
stuff.
on, shall we?
Yeah, let's crack on and enjoy
Let's crack
ourselves
on.
tonight.
Yeah.
So, how's your week been, mate? Has it been good?
Yeah, it's been all right. Just sorting stuff out. I think I finally got a venue for Rebecca Gold screening.
Oh, cool.
Gonna see it on Monday. I got a DCP made of the film, so it'll be shown properly. And fingers crossed that everything goes all right with the screening, and hopefully it will get attention, and maybe people will watch it. Who knows? But anyway, that's all I've been doing this week, just sorting stuff out like that. But how's it go with you anyway? What have you been doing this week? Anything interesting?
Yeah, no, just a busy week. I've been it's up Christmas come early for me with the announcement of a new Stargate series this week. So do you know me? I'm giddy like a schoolboy, mate. You know, the old people showrunners, they're coming back. They're consulting producers, and the old school tie of Stargate are going to be doing it. So they've also confirmed it's going to be a continuation, not a reboot as well, which I'm happy with.
I've never been a fan of Stargate. I've only watched a couple of episodes. I was never into it. But the question is, if Amazon's taking it on, do you think it's going to be any good, knowing their reputation?
We've talked about it before. I've always had concerns about Amazon.
Right.
I'm a lot better about Amazon since Jennifer Sulky has left, because she was the horrible, rumored to be the woke executive who was writing Rings of Power, and what was the other one? Wheel of Time, I think, was the other one they did, which was woke beyond belief. But the thing that really does make me confident, and to be honest, I wanted this and I've been wishing for this if it ever came back, was, as I said, it's a continuation, not a reboot. So they're not dumping all of the fantastic lore that they've built up since Stargate started. Also, as well, you've got two important people for me. You've got Joseph Malossi and you've got Brad Wright as well coming back as consulting producers. So the fact they're involved makes me feel different. Someone did say to me the other day, actually, I think it was Ista, who said to me, goes, yeah, but RTD came back to Doctor Who. And I was like, yeah, I think the difference with RTD compared to Brad Wright and Joseph Malossi is those two really care about the show. They care about Stargate, whereas clearly RTD doesn't care about Doctor Who.
Okay, John, can I just throw a spanner in the works here? Okay,
you can, because that's what you do.
No,
right. Look, I'm going to go off screen, everyone. He's talking to all of you now.
No, I'm asking you a question, right? So I know what you're saying, right? But it is still possible that Amazon can actually throw a spanner in the works and say they want this and they want that, which upholds the woke stuff. Now, hello.
Yeah.
Now, I give you an example, okay, right? This happened to me this morning. Okay, so my friend Ella, who's in Rebecca Gold, she was offered a film shooting in Cyprus. Gosh, I hope she doesn't mind me saying this. And so I got really upset because she might not turn up to the screening. It still might happen anyway. But she said that her producer told her from the film that now they want the cast to be more diverse. So no, for the film that she's going to be in, so she might not be in it because the producers want the film to be more diverse, and her part's not very big in this film. So bearing that in mind, when it comes to Stargate, and you've got Amazon, who did create Wheels of Time and the other crap, which I've never watched.
Yeah.
It still has a chance of actually, because remember, they're the ones that coughed up the money. They're the gatekeepers. They're the ones that are going to say, we want this, we want that, we want this, we want that. The next question I'll ask you, John, is the stars going to be back in it, or are they going to get a new cast? Do you know?
Well, this is going to be. They've already kind of hinted. Let me just bring up. I read it out earlier, but Joseph Molossi, basically, he said in his web blog, he basically talked about it, and I'll read it out to everybody who's
Right,
watching.
gotcha.
He said, yes, it's true. 14 years after the franchise aired its last episode, SGU's Gauntlet, a new Stargate series, has been greenlit by Amazon. And it's not a reboot or a wholesale reimagining that will wipe the slate clean on 17 seasons and some 350 hours of Stargate history. It's a new series that will be the perfect jumping on point for first-time viewers, while at the same time honoring the existing past. So what I would say to you on that quickly, honoring past, is the fact that I think we may end up getting some cameos from previous Stargate cast members, and we'll have to see about that. But I do think we are going to see them show up. Now, I've got a big wish list, okay, because it's like, you know, Stargate Atlantis finished up abruptly. Stargate Universe finished on a cliffhanger. So these are things that I know a lot of Stargate fans are all saying, oh, yeah, you know, we need to find out what happened to Universe. We need to find out what happened to Atlantis. I think what might happen, and again, this is me being really excited as a big kid on Christmas Eve, we might see them go, right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to establish our new series that's set in its own unique corner of the universe, say, and then what we're going to do is then we're gradually going to start feeding in the history of the show. So you might have references to Stargate Universe, SG1 and Atlantis. That might come further down the road. The good example I would give you is, remember when Doctor Who came back in 2005? When you had the Eccleston run, you didn't have a lot of talk about the classic series of Doctor Who. But then when that was a success, in season 2, they did School Reunion. They brought Sarah Jane back with K9. So they started adding in, it is still the same show. These are companions that have been and gone, you know, and just pop them in every now and again. So that is kind of where I think they might go with it. Right. And again, you know, at some point, I am going to ask Joe Molossi this and see what he says. I'm gonna tie him to a chair like Daniel Craig in Casino Royale, and I'm going to go, right, okay, what's going on with the Asgard? What's going on with the Wraith?
That rope. Well, as I said, I'm not a fan of Stargate. I saw the movie. I liked the movie, but I didn't watch it at all. I think I watched a few episodes and that was enough for me. I know they had spin-offs with the guy that who's the guy that did the is it Universe or is it Atlantis?
You got
who's the star of that one? I can't remember. He was like he's a movie star, wasn't he?
Stargate SG1 was Richard Dean Anderson.
Who we know that. Yeah,
was famous for MacGyver.
Yeah.
I mean, there were various people on Atlantis. So you had
was the
Universe had Robert Carlyle in it.
That's it, Robert Carlyle.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
So he was a character called Rush in Stargate Universe. He was a great character, you know, quite a devious character as well. So if it was just an announcement that a new Stargate series would be coming back, I've said before, I would be really on edge because I'd be worried about what they would do to it. They try and do a complete reboot, but the fact that these guys are coming back, they are really good writers. They're at the top of their game. They know the lore and the history of the series and the franchise. I couldn't be more excited for it. You know, I could be wrong, but I'm gonna keep my optimism sky high until it comes back. But I was just going to say, mate, so we got Sense Sphere here. Good to see you, pal. So he says, well, John, that would get me in garbage watching newbies. Yeah. So if it's, you know, effectively, it's just going to be
just put it at the back of your mind. Just put it at the back of your mind that Amazon is in charge and they're the ones that coughin up the money. So they'll probably be the ones that will actually say what's what. So I mean, I hate
He's,
to add the negative to it, but
he's talking to you all. He's got no
no,
hope
but
with me.
no, but I'm just saying that. Just take the example of what's happened to every show in the genre, how they've
Yeah,
manipulated it and destroyed it. And there is a huge chance that this is going to happen to Stargate.
yeah,
But as John would say, John is positive about it. He's looking forward to it. I
yeah.
think it'll come out when we're 2 years, maybe 2 years time or something like that. Maybe
Yeah, I would
yeah,
say
yeah,
probably a couple
yeah.
of years. I've
Couple
heard
years.
people talk about 2027 ish,
That's
maybe.
right. And we'll
Um,
see if John's face is either a smile or a frown.
yeah, exactly. If the last image you ever see of me is me just walking into some woods, never to be seen again, then you know it's
Yeah,
probably not gone well. But you know, if you see me like literally streaming 24/7 on YouTube with a big smile on my face, you
there you
know it's
go.
gone all right.
That's right. John would probably
Yeah, and
start off. Yeah, go on. Sorry, go, mate.
just to let everyone know in the chat tonight, I know Garbage has mentioned it. There are 2 streams tonight that we are trialing. So effectively, StreamYard and YouTube, they've devised this new setup where you can stream vertically and horizontally like we're doing normally. So what it does is it puts it into what they do for like the shorts feed, but it
Vertical.
just does a
Yeah.
longer run of it for vertical. So we'll trial it. We'll see how we get on with it tonight. That runs as a separate broadcast essentially. So you've got the 2. So if you're seeing us vertical and you're like, why are they vertical tonight? There is a channel you can click into, which has got me and Ian in our full horizontal beautifulness.
That's right.
Fully
Future
buffed.
of watching. Future of watching is on
Yeah,
your
yeah,
mobile.
exactly.
Apparently.
Exactly. You know, in a few years, you know, there'll be like augmented reality where me and Ian actually come out of the screen at you.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be a nightmare.
Yeah, Ian will come out of the screen eating a bag of crisps.
That's right. I was going to say, Dave Cullen did a video of Stargate. He seems quite excited about it, but he does say the same thing as me. You know, will it be woke? Will Amazon screw this up and stuff like that? I mean, I think the proof is going to be in when we get loads of information about the next James Bond film. If you get information about the next James Bond film and it looks woke, then it's probably Stargate's probably going to go the same way. Hiya.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, good to see you,
yeah,
Christy.
yeah. So
And
yeah,
then
so there you go.
and Professor R2, yeah, good to see you, my friend. The showrunner for this will be Martin Giroux, who was the showrunner on the reboot of Quantum Leap. So my expectations are incredibly low. Yeah, I get your views on it. You know, we'll have to get you on at some point, mate. We keep talking about it, but you're always working hard, aren't you? So you know, we'll have to do a stream when you're around, mate, because it'd be good to have you on the show. And yeah, so the Stargate SG1, as I've said before, Ian knows this, and people in the chat. Every Sunday we do a live watch party anyway of SG1. So we do it at 8:30 p.m. UK time on a Sunday, and we do it at 12:30 p.m. PST for the USA. So if you want to come along, we watch the episodes together in the Discord server, and then we chat in the YouTube live chat and comment along as it goes along. If you don't like that, we've got a timer on screen that you can just sync up with your Blu-ray player and then just hit play at the same time as the timer and you're good to go. Check it out. But so yeah, Stargate.
That was a word from our sponsor.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That was sponsored by Sci-Fi Chronicles, everybody.
That's right. There you go. There you go.
So I am really excited about Stargate coming back. I mean, again, I do this, as I said, I'm watching 2 episodes of Stargate a week, but I've been so excited this week. I've been watching my Stargate Atlantis Blu-ray set as well. So I'm in Stargate heaven at the moment, in addition to Supernatural. So I'm doing okay. Just make that clear.
Wow.
So also, mate, I was going to say to you, you've seen the Eddie Murphy documentary as well, haven't you?
Yeah,
What did
I've
you
seen
think
it.
about it?
I was a bit disappointed with it, actually. I was disappointed with it because it was quite flat. But I found out reason why it was flat because they shot it during the pandemic, which
Yeah,
was, as far as I'm concerned, a long time ago. So that's why you see when Eddie Murphy's talking, he's got a goatee, then he's got a moustache, then he's got a goatee, then do you know what I mean? And that's why you see that there's the footage is like you can tell that they shot it at different times.
yeah,
So yeah, it was meant to be, according to Eddie Murphy, the documentary is meant to be following him going back on doing stand up, but it didn't turn out that way because of the pandemic, and so that's why that's how it ended up. But it's still fascinating to see a 17-year-old boy from I
mm,
don't know where he was from, conquer Hollywood. And let's face it, he did conquer Hollywood. And what's
he did.
fascinating about Eddie Murphy is that he didn't take any drugs. He wasn't into that stuff. No matter how many times he was offered it, he told him no. He was into his women, of course,
It's just
but
prostitutes.
he never took drugs or anything like that. So, and he worked with the people that he admired the most, like Richard
Mm.
Pryor and what's his name, Red. I can't remember the guy's name, but he literally was on the top of the world when he was in his prime and made films. People were throwing money at him, and his house is wonderful. If you've seen the documentaries, well, what do you think, John?
Oh,
Anyway,
unbelievable. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I sort of had the conversation with you, didn't I, briefly
mm,
about it, and I enjoyed it. I watched it back a second time, and I
yeah,
will correct myself, and I do actually, I, I do kind of agree with you because it was a soft soap. There was no scandal in it, so
no,
to speak. They'd obviously made sure not to upset him and to
that's
edit,
right.
make sure none of that was discussed. And there was a lot in his lifetime that could have been brought up.
Mm,
Um, but like you say, from my era growing up, Eddie Murphy's. We've talked about it before. We talked about it on a previous show where for me, it was John Candy, Eddie Murphy, Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray. You know,
mm,
those were the main ones for me growing up as a kid. They
yeah,
were just legends for me. I've said to you, if there was a film that came out and they were in it, I was watching it. I didn't even
mm,
need to know what the film was about. You know, and again, it just I know he got a lot of criticism for Harlem Nights, but
yeah. It's not a bad movie.
it's not a bad movie. And again,
No,
for
it's
me
not.
as a kid though, but I grew up, Beverly Hills Cop,
Mm,
Golden Child, you know, those great movies. And again, you're right, how he took on Hollywood at that young age. I mean, Saturday Night Live, like you said to me, he really breathed new life into Saturday Night
it
Live
did.
when
It
he
was
came
it
into
was
it.
dying. Yeah, it was dying. He brought new life into it. Also, I was really fascinated the films that he rejected. He said regrets rejecting Rush Hour with Jackie Chan. He rejected that. He couldn't be in Ghostbusters because he was offered Beverly Hills Cop at the same time, so he did Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
He's going to do Inspector Clouseau, which bad move, mate. I don't think he
Yeah.
should do it, but if it's money. But the thing is, though, you can tell he's comfortable in his life, and whatever's offered to him, it's his own whim. If he thinks he can do it, he'll do it. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's not like he's hungry anymore. It doesn't feel like he's hungry anymore. Even though I watched the episode where he came back to Saturday Night Live, and it was amusing, but it wasn't Eddie Murphy funny, if you know what I mean. The stuff that he
Yeah.
did. So, but
I
again, right, fascinating chap, very fascinating. So,
absolutely. I think when they showed those scenes of him, uh, with Chris Rock and co, and they were doing the Saturday Night Live, and
yeah,
it was that clearly, even watching that the first time, I was like, that was well choreographed and stage
mm,
managed, wasn't it?
yeah,
It was the best thing ever. But it's it's just great seeing Eddie Murphy back on that sort of format again for the first time in
mm,
a long, long time. I
yeah,
um I suppose it really comes down to, and again, you can only answer it for yourselves, really, and Eddie would have to answer it for himself. But when you're doing stuff like that again, it's are you still as hungry
But
as
he
you were
isn't.
when you first did it? And he's not. No, exactly.
He's not.
He's got the money, he's got the mansion, he's got to pay out from Netflix now. He's
Yeah,
doing all right, isn't he?
he's
Got a
got. You
hot
can see
wife.
the huge family. He's got a huge
Mm,
family, from various, obviously from various women. They
yeah.
never mentioned, obviously, Scary Spice, did they, in the
Yeah, it's
documentary?
garbage. Just said, yeah.
Exactly, Mel B. Yeah, she didn't mention her. But as I said, it was all right. It passed the time. I like Eddie Murphy. I think he's an incredible person. I equate Eddie Murphy to Arnold Schwarzenegger. They came from nowhere. They had
Yeah.
nothing, and this is what they achieved just by believing in themselves. It's an amazing achievement at that Eddie Murphy. I'm a fan of Eddie Murphy. He was the. I remember when I went to see Coming to America, and because my family obviously is not English or Irish or Scottish, whatever, we come from the West Indies. It was something about Coming to America that basically called all of us, like, people like me, to see that film. And I remember
Genius
when I went
film.
to see it, I think it was a late screening. Actually, no, it was a middle screening when my dad, my mum, and my brothers and sisters. And the cinema was packed. I mean, there were a few white people in there, but it literally was packed with people of color. And boy, did they laugh all the way through it. They laughed
Oh,
because they understood the black jokes in there. So
yeah.
what he did was something amazing when he made Coming to America, as far as I'm concerned.
What?
The second one was
Just
rubbish, though.
yeah. I didn't want to watch it. I still haven't because I just thought
Yeah.
it can never be anywhere near as good as the first.
It was
The
woke
first
apart.
is special. Oh, was it?
You know?
The first
Yeah,
was
totally.
special. And again, my late dad, God rest his soul, my dad wasn't into those kind of comedies, those types of movies, but my dad always laughed. My dad was, obviously a Christian chap, and it's just the bit with the reverend and sexual chocolate on stage just had my dad laughing, going,
Yeah.
was it going? All
You
the
know,
women lined up.
what's his name? Was it Rick James? Is it Rick James, the singer?
Yeah,
Rick James
yeah.
came up to him. There's a bit in it documentary where he said he came up to him and he said that it's really good of you to give all those old black guys a part in the film. And he was like, what are you talking about? That's all me.
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
believe him. Didn't
He
believe him.
even
So
he even thought he was a
yeah.
Jewish white guy as
Yeah,
well, didn't
exactly.
he?
Yeah. So, and he's like, it's me. It's all me. So,
It's mad.
but
It was.
he's
I
very
was
proud
going.
of a Nutty Professor,
Yeah,
though, isn't he, John? Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I haven't watched that in years, but I did
I
really
love it.
enjoy it when it first
I
came
love
out.
it.
I just thought it was a great fun
Never be allowed now.
movie. Yeah, I mean, it's just some of the stuff he did in it, and when you like, it's blimey, you don't. I'd forgotten that was an early Dave Chappelle in Nutty Professor on stage doing stand up.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very
I always
different.
laugh when I watch Beverly Hills Cop 2 though, because you see Chris Rock is the guy taking the keys for
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
cement mixer, isn't he?
Yes, he is. And also in the first one, you had Damon Williams. He played
Yeah.
the gay guy that gave him the bananas.
You
So
take those
it's
bananas.
bananas. Yeah. Yeah. So they did. Eddie Murphy was helped a lot of people in his time. According to the documentary, of course, I enjoyed the John Candy documentary more because it delved more deeply into who John Candy was. But with Eddie Murphy, you got a strange feeling that there was like a door that they wouldn't go through with his career. Um, but I mean, saying that though, it was still good. It was still worth your time if you're thinking of watching the Eddie Murphy documentary. And
Yeah.
again, I love Eddie Murphy. I think Eddie Murphy in his prime was amazing, absolutely amazing. He broke through that wall. He broke
Genius.
through that wall to say that black people can be this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, also, like Professor R2 says, he still laughs at the Soul Glow jokes. I do as well, because I always remember in the 80s, my friend had an auntie that had basically Soul Glow hair,
yeah.
and his dad used to sit there. And this is where it used to, a family had enjoyed coming to America. His dad
Yeah.
used to sit there and start singing the Soul Glow music.
No.
And she didn't have a clue what he was on about. But all the kids like,
My dad, when I was growing up, was it 10, 11, my dad always used to give me a haircut because we couldn't afford to go to the barbers. My dad used to cut my hair. And I always say to my dad, "Oh no, can I not grow it out, Dad?" And he'd go, "No, get in that chair." And he'd always cut my hair short. And he said, "I thank him later." And when I look at the photographs of the old days, I did thank him later because I never had enough rose.
I was gonna say,
Soul glow, or soul glow.
So we'll find that there's a photo of Ian with a big afro with one of those big combs in it.
Yeah.
That's a job for garbage in his AI, I think.
Yeah, but it never happened though because of my dad. My dad, obviously, he didn't want me to look that way. So there you go. But yeah, oh yeah, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? J girl, yeah, no. But yeah,
so
interesting.
Netflix are clearly going to do more of them. There's no doubt about it because they're successful for Netflix, I think.
Yes.
But I think on a different streaming service, the one that is clearly out in front as the winner at the moment for me is the John Candy one.
John Candy one's good.
Don't think they've come close to that. I think it's a very well done documentary that really does drill down into sort of, well, the way they tell it, that John Candy was a really nice guy.
Yeah.
But
one of the best documentaries I've ever seen is When We Were Kings with Muhammad Ali, the Muhammad Ali story. I thought that was terrific, absolutely terrific. I was engrossed watching that. But that was made purely for a good reason. Sometimes documentaries, when you look at them, they made because they know that people are going to be watching, like the Eddie Murphy one. And they used to make this. They used to have this thing on Netflix called the Movies That Made Us. Have you ever seen them?
Yeah, still got them on there. Yeah, I watch them. They're good.
They're really good. Yeah, really good. But anyway,
yeah. Again, I mean, so I know that you've talked to me in private, mate, about the fact that you're really looking forward to going to see the sequel to Wicked.
Yeah, right. This is something we should talk about. I don't know about you guys in the chat, right? But I find those two really creepy. When they're being interviewed, they're so creepy. What the hell is that all about? And I know a lot
real
of people
witches, aren't they?
Yeah, I know a lot of people on X have pointed it out, but is the mainstream media pointing this out as well? Just really creepy stuff with those two. Anyway, I don't know.
There's something not quite right, and it almost speaks to me at times as it almost feels like a demonic thing, really, because it's just so bizarre. Some of the stuff that they do, it's all the OTT sort of hand holding and all of that performative stuff, isn't it? It's just like, there's probably someone somewhere, some sane person in the marketing department, the last sane marketing person at the studio going, what the hell? Can we just like get them to read a cue card or something in separate rooms so they act a little bit normal, because it's just bizarre. I mean, parents must see these interviews there and go, okay, our kids want to see this,
Well, it's a lot of people are. I saw something on X that they're saying that she might, the one that's not so good looking, might play Storm in the X-Men. I'm like, if they do that, that's really gonna destroy that film. It really is gonna destroy it.
That's Storm, who's been hit by several thousand volts of lightning.
That's right. Absolutely. But do you know what? Right. Again, a lot of people are afraid to say that, but I'm sorry, but that woman is not good looking at all. And if I was casting Wicked and I was in charge, I would never have cast her at all. In fact, my sisters, and I know a lot of people that seen Wicked on stage, and a lot of them said the women on stage were hot. So the question is, well, we know the answer to it. Hollywood being trying to teach the world their way of looking at the world, which is absolute bollocks. Beauty always sells.
Yeah.
Right? No matter how much they say.
Yeah,
basically.
is that true? What Dalek Lives Matter? Is that true? Then they've been pulled from promotion, and
Yeah, I
they're
think they
obviously
have.
trying to spin it like they've got an
Yeah,
illness or something. But they're
yeah.
clearly thinking every time those two talk, they lose a few million.
Also, talking about, so basically, if you say that the girl in Wicked is not very good looking, they say that's body shaming or whatever. And talking about body shaming, Amy Schumacher has lost a lot of
Uh,
weight. So a
Ozempic.
so like all this stuff about, being
Body
proud of my body,
positivity. Yeah.
my
Goes out
body,
the window when they get a miracle treatment.
absolutely, it's crazy, right? And not only her, I think a couple of other people in Hollywood has done it as well. The ones. I mean, I think Lizzo has done it. I mean, she still looks fat, by the way,
Yeah,
even though
yeah,
she's done it. But
yeah. And
she's,
she was the
yeah,
worst one about body positivity. And it was like,
yeah,
well, no, being that overweight is not healthy and it's not good for you
that's right.
whatsoever. And you're
That's
trying
right.
to sell that you're trying to effectively peddle that to kids to say this is acceptable, and it's
Yeah,
not. And it's funny, isn't it? We've all said, people in the chat, me and you have said, we don't listen to actors or musicians that tell us what to do and get on the moral high ground, because
nope.
yet again, what have we found? They've suddenly got a miracle treatment that is going to drop their weight instantly by an injection daily, and suddenly it's perfectly fine. But the thing is about the Ozempic, I've been reading so much stuff of late about the fact that there's concerns about side effects for it,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and I call me old fashioned again. After several years of trials and everything comes back hunky dory, fine. But until it does, my mindset is there's only an old fashioned way of doing it, and that's to watch what you eat and to do some exercise.
Well,
Um,
yeah,
that's
they're
that's it.
looking. Well, basically, it's a cheat, isn't it? So basically, to actually work for something, that's the joy in actually achieving something. When you work for something, when you suffer for something, when you keep believing in it, and then you achieve it. It's just like going to the gym. If you want a ripped body, you're going to have to work for it instead of taking those thingies, to
Yeah,
make you, like, which a lot of men has, including The Rock. But to do it properly, to actually put that work in,
yeah,
it's probably better for you. So these women have found a shortcut in not doing that stuff, and suddenly they're thin. And it's wrong as well. But the thing is, though, what it teaches you is that they were talking a load of bollocks. They were
yeah,
lying about their body shape because they were lazy and didn't want to do what they had to do to get into proper shape. And I don't understand this where they say this is body positive. It's not, it's body negative, because to be overweight, you have heart problems. And when you have heart problems, you die. So,
yeah,
so
yeah,
that is not body positive. That's body shit. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Get into a proper shape so you can survive longer. Do you know what I mean? So
I want you. I want you doing a marketing campaign now.
it
Be
is, it's
body,
shit, man. Come on.
be body healthy, not body shit. The
That's
Ian
right.
Diaz
It's
way.
absolute bollocks, isn't it? Come on, let's face it. I mean, as I said, right? It's all a load of bollocks, and the more people lie in social media, the more attention they get. And as I said to you, John, there's a lot of sheep out there.
Mm.
The thing I say to people is, don't be sheep. Try and be a shepherd, and and move in
Yeah,
your own way, rather than
yeah.
believing these stupid idiots. So anyway, whatever. I
I
digress.
know. Yeah, I mean
Mm,
it's crazy, and again, until they're on to the next grift where they're paid by a certain
that's
pharmaceutical
right.
company to promote something, that's when
Mm,
they'll suddenly change gears again, because that's what they do, don't they? Really.
yep. Yep.
Um, and what else have you been watching at the moment? Have you heard the news? I was going to say to you about
Mm.
the Running Man movie has fallen off a cliff,
Oh,
apparently,
it didn't do
on
it.
views.
Well, okay, right. So I haven't seen the movie. because I was
Same.
going to go and see it because I love Edgar Wright, but a lot
Yeah.
of people telling me it's not so good. So a lot of people that I actually trust review wise are telling me it's not so good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till it comes to streaming.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes what producers and directors do when a project's based on a book, they try to make it as close to the book as possible. Now, there's a huge difference between a book and a movie. I mean, the prime example is Jaws. If they'd made Jaws like the novel, that film would never have been a success. So Spielberg took the idea of Jaws
Yeah.
and he made it into a movie. Same thing with Jurassic Park. He took a lot of people say the book is better than the film. I don't know, I've never read the book, but I love the film. And I think that's what directors have to do. Paul Michael Glazier, who directed the original Running Man, he had the idea about changing it as well. He couldn't make the book because it wouldn't stand up to being a movie. So that's what he did. So that's why a lot of people say that the Arnie version is a lot of fun than the new version. But I
Yeah.
haven't seen the new version, so I can't comment. But that's what I think. I think maybe they went wrong trying to imitate the book closely. I don't know.
I think you're right. I think, yeah, again, I never read the Running Man, the original book it was based
Mm,
on. I did love the Schwarzenegger movie. I
yeah.
just thought that was great entertainment. I still love it today. I regularly watch it every year, just because it's brainless fun.
Mm.
It's enjoyable. You know,
And he says, I'll be
just
back as well.
he does. He does. Give the people what they want.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
you know,
It's a shame because as I said, I love Edgar Wright. I think Edgar Wright's a fantastic director.
yeah,
It's a shame that it's like he was, well, somebody said it was like he just took the paycheck and just did
yeah.
exactly what they wanted him to do. And that was that.
I was going to say to you though, was it from what he's done before? Was it a different style really for the original book? It was kind of outside of his usual area
I
of
don't
what he
know.
types to direct, because
Yeah.
the book, again, correct me if I'm wrong, chap, but the book is obviously quite a serious book, isn't it?
Mm.
And
Right.
obviously I think he's kind of, is it right,
Never
he's
read it.
added a fair bit of comedy elements into this movie as well?
Never read it. Don't know what he's done. I haven't seen the
No.
film.
I so yeah, but yeah, Edgar Wright's a fantastic director, but
He is.
he'll be back. But I
I
was
hope so.
surprised. But you know, for me, I just, you want to just kind of resurrect like an 80s action director,
Yeah, I guess.
bring him out of the grave and just do a new Running Man movie.
And talking about films and Hollywood and stuff, have you heard of the vertical film explosion?
No,
Okay. So Hollywood is investing heavily on vertical films. Now let me explain what a vertical film is. Vertical film is basically a film shot in a vertical way, like on your phone.
Hmm.
And in China or Japan, I can never remember which country it's in, it's huge. People watch these films on their phone and it's huge and it's $1 billion thing. So Hollywood's trying to cash into it. And there's a lot of Hollywood ones being made. Now let me explain the format. The format is 1 minute per segment. And
Yeah,
every 1 minute has to end in a cliffhanger. Sometimes it's 3 minutes, but mostly it's 1 minute. And the ones I've seen are like Mills and Boom. So basically, it's a lot of romance and stuff. There's a few with action in there, but I must admit, I haven't seen a lot of them. I've only seen a few. So people are now watching films and they want the thrill every minute. And there's
yeah.
like, so basically, you watch 13 episodes, and when it comes to the 14th one, you have to pay to see the rest of them. So
Okay,
they expect you to be
hook you
hooked
in.
by the 13th episode, and then you pay for the rest of the episode. And apparently,
Yeah,
people do pay for it. So
don't
there you go.
surprise
So
me.
I was just wondering what your thoughts would be about vertical films. Maybe it'll
I'm
come and
I'm not a
destroy
fan of
cinema.
it.
Who knows?
I
Mm,
mean, we're trialing it tonight with Vertical. on the second screen.
Vertical live stream.
And Ian's just broken the news there that by the 14th show you've got to pay for the vertical.
Yeah, no, 14 minutes.
Yeah. Everyone in the chat's got to pay. So get your wallets out, everybody. I talked about this. We talked about this on the Brain Show a couple of months back, and they were saying that it's a big thing now in the US where they're doing they're more soap opera stuff.
Yeah, well, a lot of soap, but there's a few action ones. In fact, Ella, who's the star of Rebecca Gold, she was in one, and it's basically a mafia thing where her friend gets killed and she decides to be another person, and then she infiltrates the mafia just to get revenge on the person that killed her friend, that kind of thing. But it's every minute or every 3 minutes, it's got to end in a cliffhanger, and then that kind of pushes you to watch another episode, then another episode, then another episode. But it just goes to show that today's audience don't have any patience. They just don't have any patience. 1 minute is their limit of a patience.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I think this is you've mentioned this on shows before, mate. And I'm going to segue back to it because you've mentioned about the fact that this generation, they don't view movies and shows like we do. They don't have that kind of, they don't care about the latest 4K TV and the sharpest picture. They'll just like, I want to watch it on vertical on my phone. They just don't care. And I think that is all part of it, without a doubt, is the fact that you're right. It's the attention span is they want a quick minute, see what's going on there, then get back to talking to people they know, and then jump into the next one, do the same. So I can see why it's being successful. Whether it's just a bubble that will just burst eventually, I suspect that will be the case. But I
don't know.
Crying out for quality.
Well, okay, right. So we've got to face the facts that things are changing rapidly when it comes to hello, Professor. When it comes to entertainment. Okay, right. And remember, I'm always reminded of this. I think it's the 40s or the 50s. I can't remember when TV came to being. Hollywood was like, TV stands no chance. People are going to go to the cinema all the time. And then TV was killing it. So maybe, I don't know, maybe this is the thing that kills Hollywood. I don't know. It's hard to guess what's going to be the next big thing. And apparently, the next big thing is vertical films. And as I said, Hollywood, and I can't remember what companies pouring money into it, because to make the quality good. So, but shooting vertically is really strange because you have to get everything within that strip. Do you know what I mean? Everything, like two shot and everything. So, it's kind of a strange format. But this is the way people read on their phones. They don't read this way, although you do have the choice. But they read that way for some reason.
I'm
I
the
guess
same.
it's far more easier, isn't it, to hold the phone that way? That way. I don't know.
I'm old school with that, and I think it's because of the early phones. I'm just used to having it like that.
Yeah.
But also, I've got a little, when I'm at work in my lunch hour, I've got a little Amazon sort of iPhone stand that I can put it on.
Right.
And when I do it horizontally, the phone, it lands on the volume buttons. So it mutes it. And I'll try turning it the other way, and then it will hit the power off button. So the screen will go blank constantly. So I'm just used to using it old school. That's just how I'm wired, I think, mate.
Yeah, I mean, again, right? It's things are changing. You just got to look at the box office. No star is selling any movies now at the moment. All the movies that people consider art is all flopping because this generation of people don't want to sit. They don't have the patience to sit through movies anymore. So there you go. Well, Spy guy himself.
Yeah, it's been with Doug. Good to see you, buddy. So you were reading the other day, streamers are now requesting films to be dumbed down, designed to play in background while viewers are on their phones, etc. As few viewers pay attention anymore. Well, again, that's a sorry indictment of streamers, then, isn't it? Really?
Well, okay. There's two things I think that's happening in Hollywood. One is that stars don't sell movies anymore, so it's
Yeah,
pointless actually getting a star in your film. It makes sense if you're making a low budget film and you know it's gonna, you're giving it to a distributor, because in lower end countries, if they see any TV face that they know in that country, they would buy the film. So it kind of
yeah,
makes sense that way. But the big movies now, why pay money for, I don't know, for Leonardo to be in it when you can just hire someone else that's a TV face for less money? Because Leonardo he doesn't sell movies anymore. There's no such thing as a movie star anymore. Do you know what I mean? Somebody actually
no,
said that when Robbie Downey Jr. was walking down the road and a kid saw him, kid wouldn't say Robbie Downey Jr., he would say Iron Man. So it's the person that's on screen that people will relate to, rather than the actual actor itself, which used to be the norm in the 80s and the 90s.
and that's what
Yeah.
we said before about Matt Smith, and Tom Baker.
Mm.
They played
Yeah.
the Doctor when they were out in front of kids because they didn't
Yeah.
want to break that illusion, um,
Mm.
which is, shows they respected the audience, and they
Mm.
respected the role as well. I think the other thing is Predator Badlands apparently this week has dropped off a cliff as well with views.
Well, I think what contributed to that was the many bad reviews it got online, on YouTube, on X, on some on Facebook, because people do listen to the social media now.
Mm.
They don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes. They don't listen to critics. I was because I listen to the radio during the night because I've got tinnitus, so I have to have the
Yeah.
radio on. And there was an advert saying that what was the film? Oh, it's Now You See Me is the biggest
Yeah.
grossing film in the world. It's like, talk about trying to sell it under a pretense. I mean, it might be true, but it didn't make that much money. But that's the thing. They're trying so hard to get you to the cinema, but nobody listens to the ads anymore. A lot of people watch YouTube. They watch The Drinker.
Yeah.
They watch
Yeah.
Gary. They watch what's his name? The guy with the gas mask. I can't remember his name. Him. They watch him. Do you know what I mean? Geeks and gamers, they watch that to get their fix for their
They watch
reviews.
us.
No, nobody watches us. Come on. But yeah, I think that's what's really spoiling cinema, because, as I said, Hollywood thinks they're in control, but they don't realize that social media has more power than anything you can possibly put up against. You know what I mean? So anyway.
Yeah, I mean, garbage. Exactly. I mean, he is
Mm.
paid a hefty retainer fee by Nerdetic to
No,
say all these channels. Literally, it's basically it's his job. He
you
sold
guys,
his soul years ago.
you guys have to know.
He'll do
I'm not
anything
ashamed.
for Rebecca Gold.
I'm not ashamed of it. I'm a huge
Yeah.
fan of Gary's. I'm a huge fan of The Drinker.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff I disagree with what they're saying. There's a lot, a hell of a lot. But I like them because they're genuine. You can feel that. Sometimes let me give you an example, Garbage. So have you ever, has this ever happened to you, where you're waiting for a bus and you go to the bus shelter and you're waiting for a bus, and then somebody comes and stands next to you, right? And then for no reason, you don't like that person. You've never seen that person ever, right?
You said
ever
you weren't going to talk about our day out, Ian.
Ah, very funny. You've never met that person before. You've never spoken to them, but somehow you get that vibe off them, that there's something about them that you don't like. This is the thing I say about Gary and The Drinker and a lot of streamers, actually. Vex. I like Vex. And
there's another one.
No, I'm just saying that you can feel that they're authentic. They're saying something that they believe, and it comes through their stream, right? There are loads that doesn't, like well, I won't mention them because that would be bad. But there are loads I've watched where you can tell that they're trying to push something. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
I mean, you mean, I mean, there are some, like you say, I've just this week I've seen things that I'm like, your heart's not really in this. You're reading this, you don't know anything about the
yeah,
subject
for
matter at
money.
all. Yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
but it's going to get you a lot of views, and it's like, well, fair enough, but I'm not going to be a hypocrite and criticize them because they're doing their channel, they're doing what they want to do. Whereas, you know, if something pops up we want to talk about on here, we'll talk about it, and that's what everyone's free to do on YouTube.
I,
And you're right.
yeah, I
People
just
like
like to
Gary
say,
and co,
yeah,
they're very
yeah.
good at what they do, and they engage an audience. So
I,
all credit
I
to
just
them.
like to say though, right? I might be wrong. Okay, right. That like I can tell you what I think, but who knows? In the next 2 days or even 2 months, some scandal will happen.
Yeah.
That the drinker's caught doing something, or do you know what I mean? Because you never know with these things, do you?
Yeah.
All I can say is what I feel
Mega
now.
Geeks had a
You know
fight
what I
on a
mean?
bus.
So yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. Caught in bed with Starmer's wife or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Something like I don't know. I
Caught in
don't
bed with
know.
Starmer.
Yeah. So that kind of thing. So you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So anything can happen between now and then.
Yeah.
Anyway, I
Well,
step
I
back.
do. I do want one of those sort of sleazy 70s or 80s newspaper stories about you, like, the day he attacked me on the bus, headline sort of thing. And it's like, I said hello to him and he suddenly started strangling me.
Yeah, whatever. the,
uh,
the day me and Sydney Sweeney had an argument, yeah, that kind of thing. That'd be great.
yeah. And again, I'm gonna put it out here as well. We
Mm,
got a few in here as well. I mean, Professor R2, he's
mm.
a top bloke. I enjoy listening to this guy when he's on YouTube, and
Yeah,
you're on
me
YouTube with
too.
him regularly, Ian, aren't you? So
Yeah, I
there's
like
that.
Professor R2 and I like Price of Reason. I listen to them when I can because their stuff is really late in the morning. So when I get
Yeah,
up, they're on, I listen to them. And those two come across as passionate. They're passionate
yeah,
about what they're talking about, and
yeah,
they're pushing things forward. You can tell they're not pretending. That's the
hundred
kind of
percent.
thing people warm to. That's the kind of thing that people gravitate towards. Do you know what I mean? So
And
anyway.
and this guy as well, Boomer Doug. If you haven't seen it, check out his channel. Doug, put it in the chat so we can promote it for you. But he does. Correct me if I'm wrong, Doug, but it's
Mm.
a Man from Uncle videos you do, and it's called was it Always Say Uncle? And it's doing really, really well on YouTube. So if you can, just check it out because it's good stuff and support him.
Yeah, a lot of people
And
don't like heel versus babyface. A lot of people don't like him. There you go.
okay, yeah,
Mm.
um, and then we've also got on here Garbage. If you want to check it out, Garbage, put your channel in the chat. Garbage is
Mm.
doing like some really good AI videos, so
All
go on
right.
his channel and check them out. Um, I'll
Yeah,
credit to
someone
him
cloned him.
because
Yeah, someone cloned the drinker, apparently, his voice. And
I
they were
saw
using
that.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean
it's
that's
just,
that's going to become more of a problem going forward, isn't it? You know,
yeah.
but we've talked about it before. I've seen a lot more now of sort of YouTube channels where they're just watching, say, like a Nerdrotic,
Yeah.
but they've just taken the clips from it and they're putting it out on their channel.
Yeah, I don't
But they're
understand.
not
I
they're
don't
not actually
know.
adding anything to it. It's just
No.
basically you're
Yeah.
watching Nerdrotic, but through almost like a third party's channel. And I don't understand that. It's allowed because you can clip
Yeah.
clips out, can't you, on YouTube? But I
Yeah.
just it's I don't
It's like
understand it.
you see a show where they're talking about Joe Rogan and they go,
Mm,
yeah, this is a fascinating subject. Joe Rogan talks about so and so, and then have the little square at the
yes,
bottom, and then they
yeah,
pause it. Well, Joe Rogan was right here. Blah, blah. How could they get away with that?
I
They're
know
making money out of what Joe Rogan was saying,
exactly.
and they're
Yeah,
using that clip to actually facilitate their live stream,
yeah.
which is weird, I find. But I don't understand how they're allowed to get away with that.
It's very strange. I mean I'm fine if it's like breaking news like a new series announced or something
Yeah.
like that, where
Yeah.
you refer to the channel that broke the news, and you're basically going, look, you know, check it out here. This is
Yeah.
the cliff notes of what's been said.
Yeah.
And then you actually credit them for it. But if
Yeah.
you're literally just doing an entire, like you say, Joe Rogan experience, and just like every few minutes going, interesting drink there, and cigar.
Yeah. 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 To me, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I mean, they're allowed to do it, obviously, but it's just weird.
Yeah.
It's like the ones with Macon Kelly. There's some guy on. He's like, "Oh, Macon Kelly said this. Let's have a listen." Do you know what I mean? Why not just go to that channel rather than listen to you? Do you know what I mean? Why am I listening to you, listening to her, showing me what she said? I could just go to her channel, you know. But
Yeah.
yet, a lot of people watch that stuff, you know, which is I find weird. But there you go.
Yeah. As a garbage, you know, he's got it in the chat. That's his channel link, everybody. So certainly check his out. And then you got Boomer Doug here. Yeah. Always say uncle. So yeah, check that out on YouTube, everyone. He's doing good stuff there. And you know, it's I think again, we've talked about it before. YouTube is free for everybody to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
You know, it's a free platform. What is it they say? It's something like 2 billion people watch YouTube. So there's plenty to go around anyway. So just enjoy yourselves and do what you want to do and talk about what you want to talk about. But
that's true.
I was going to say, yeah. So Professor Artie reaction channels, they make big money talking over other people's content.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
maybe YouTube will change it eventually, where they'll basically say, well, okay, well, the bulk of that or all of it is going to the main channel to deter it. You know,
I mean,
possibly,
it's very,
I don't know.
It's very different to, I mean, to what we're doing and to what maybe Professor Arthur and Price does as well. They take a subject and then they talk about it and how they feel about it. It's very different to actually having a clip and showing someone else's entertainment.
Yeah.
So that you're using their entertainment to actually, it's like, it's like, what is that one where Beadle had all those clips where people made mistakes on videos? They're making money out of people, but then again, they are paying them. But this guy on YouTube's not paying Macon Kelly or you know, or anyone that they use, which is a bit of a liberty, really. Let's face it. So
anyway. Again, it's each to their own, but again, it's a strange one, definitely. And I was are you have you got any I was going to say to you, Matt, before I ask you about what you're potentially watching this week or you got lined up, I am really excited about the fact that Brendan Fraser looks like he's coming back to do another Mummy movie.
Are you?
Yeah, I love Brendan Fraser, and
I like him too.
I love the first two Mummy movies. I didn't like the third. Obviously, a different director, and Rachel Weisz wasn't in.
No, she wasn't in the third one.
No. But they may well all of them be coming back for this one. Yes, they all look a lot older, but it's just, if it's done right, they're good fun. You know,
but
brainless entertainment. Yeah.
But Brendan Fraser needs to take that stuff that Amy Schumacher took to get a little trimmer. But I do like him. I think he seems like a really nice person as well. Obviously, I don't know him, but I don't think they should bring it back, to tell you the truth, because they're just going to shit on what we loved about it, and again,
Mummy.
Yeah, again, right? You're not sure what they're going to do with it, you know, whether it be trans this and trans that and gay this and gay that. You know, as I said, I don't know what they're going to do with it. Going to woke it up maybe, but we will be really sad if that happens to the Mummy. And also, where can I take it? Where can I take this one?
Well,
Mummy comes back again.
Yeah, exactly. I suspect what will happen. I suspect what will happen is they'll go the Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny route, or
I hope
not. Where he'll be an older guy. It will reappear in some way, shape, or form as he's an older man. But if they go that route, I really hope they don't, you know, dismantle him, you know, and like they did with Indy, because they tend to do that these days. But I mean, I will say about Brendan Fraser, actually, for me, I really liked him in The Whale.
Yeah, he was good. He was good in
I was
that.
great in that movie, but I loved him in Scrubs. And I don't know if you ever watched Scrubs, but he comes in and
No.
he's Dr. Cox's best friend, and he's Dr. Cox's wife's brother. But he goes through this course in the series where he gets diagnosed with leukemia, and he dies in it. But it's really well done how, you know, JD, the main guy, and it really likes him. And there's a whole final episode where JD's he's imagining that he's lived, and Dr. Cox is as well. And like you see Brendan Fraser turn around, he goes, "Come on, JD, you know none of this is real." And then suddenly he realizes, you know, and Dr. Cox also, that they're in the funeral, they're in the cemetery for his funeral. And Brendan Fraser's great in it. He really is. And I've always rated Brendan Fraser. I think he was always thought of as being like these sort of jokey films like George of the Jungle and things like that. But he's a very good, serious actor when he wants to be.
But
I forget, there was that Matt Damon film in the 90s. Do you remember?
Yes.
I forget the name of it, with the school one.
Yeah. But if you look at the Mummy very carefully, the first one, again, I would say this: it was a boys' own thing. You know, it was O'Connell kicking ass, shooting mummies, chopping mummies. Do you know what I mean? He was the focus of the Mummy. He was the star. Now the question is, if they do bring it back, they're going to apply all this nonsense to it, like, oh, you've got to have Rachel Weisz doing stuff as well, and you know what I mean. She can't be a damsel in distress, and even though at that moment in time, in that setting, there were damsels in distress, you know, that's the kind of films that they were imitating. So if they change all that, if they change the dynamics, it's not going to work. It doesn't matter how many visual effects you put into it.
I think you're right. And I think what would really annoy me is they do that, because yes, she was a damsel in distress, but in the first film in particular, they establish she's intelligent. She's a researcher in the museum, isn't she? So that's all established.
She fell in love with him, though. I mean, there's a moment where she's looking in the mirror going, "Oh, pull yourself together," you know, thinking about O'Connell. They'll never have things like that, because that's considered sexist, or you can't have a woman drooling over a man in a movie. So if they apply all that shit to this movie, then it's no point in watching it, because that is not the aesthetic of the movie, of the last two movies. Obviously the third one was rubbish. Of the last two movies, you've got to have that boy's own adventure, because that's what it is. If you divert from that, it's going to be something else, and it won't be the Mummy that we know. But then again, we are old-fashioned, aren't we? So that's what they'll say. That's what they'll say, won't they? Yeah,
they will. I mean, again, you know, I wonder if they'll still give us like PlayStation 2 Scorpion King, The Rock graphics, CGI. Do you remember that?
That was rubbish. That was so bad.
It was bad.
Yeah.
But
then they were just starting with special effects. So yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can bring this up, because I wanted to show you and everyone in the chat this. Have you seen that there's the Star Wars the fan made combat scenes, and the guy that's done it has put out a video basically showing it side by side, and I'm gonna share screen. They blatantly copied it, and I'm gonna put it up here now, so bear with me, guys. So I'm gonna mute it but play it. Can you see that all right? Yeah. I might, if I go full screen. Oh.
So which one? The bottom Star Wars, is it?
So the bottom is the bottom is the Star Wars animated series.
Right.
And the top one is the fan made one. So when I play this, you'll see what I mean. So here we go.
Ah.
See what I mean? Beat for
Yeah.
beat, it's identical.
Yeah.
And again, you'll know more than I do on this, Ian. But what are your thoughts on that? I mean, as an independent, they own the IP. Can they effectively just go, right, okay, no, tough, it's ours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can. And,
And that's the end of
I
it.
always say to look, I've only attempted to do one fan film in my life, and I didn't complete it.
Yeah.
But my advice to people who do fan films is stop it
Yeah.
and make something original. Yes, it is possible you could do a fan film and people notice it and then give you a shitload of money to do something similar. But
Yeah.
that is true too. That has happened. But 9 times out of 10, if you go out of your way to make a fantastic fan Star Wars film, which I've seen, there's some of them amazing.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
How does that help you? How does that help you as a filmmaker? You don't develop story, how to write a story. You don't develop new characters. If you can't do that as a writer, because these days you can't only be a director. You've got to be a writer, director, editor. You've got to wear so many hats because this is what's demanding of you as an independent filmmaker. So my advice to people who make fan films is to stop it and make something original. No matter how hard it is to do something original. If you're really up in sci-fi, make a sci-fi. But but don't make a fan film. I made a fan film of Doctor Who, and I never completed it. Never completed it for various reasons. It was like pandemic. We were trying to shoot in a pandemic, and we couldn't get the Daleks. We couldn't get somebody to animate the Daleks, and I ran out of money. But I did shoot like half of it with a real TARDIS and everything. But yeah, so that's when I realized there's no point in doing a fan film because it's not yours. You don't own it.
No.
You know.
But basically, what Ian created, they've stolen, and it is the war between the land and the sea that's coming in a few weeks.
No, not at all. But
you're burning the copies of it.
Yeah, no, but it's I don't know. People may disagree with me. Yeah, I mean, you can make some fantastic fan films, but as I said, there's one Star Trek. You know, Star Trek Continues, and it's brilliant. It looks like the set from the '60s, and they have these people playing Spock and Kirk and all that.
Yeah.
Writing, fantastic visual effects, but you don't own it. Then it's like, how would I describe this? It's like pretending to be Elvis and never understood that either.
Yeah.
You can't get paid for imitating Elvis, but you can't get paid because they own the copyright to do Star Wars or Star Trek. You know, you could people could like what you do, but at the end of the day, it's not yours. Just create something that's yours, you know. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah, no, to say if you had have created the war between the land and the sea as a fan one,
God.
Like Garbage says, we could have had 2 screens like that Star Wars one where they've nicked your bit beat for beat. We'll just show it on screen.
well, even now today you can do that with AI. You can take something that's been videoed and you could put it in AI and change it. And it will just copy everything, but change the prompt that you give it will change it. So it's even more now because they don't have a leg to stand on. You could put something like an X and go, they copied us, but what they're going to say to you is, you've got our IP. You copied my IP. Do you know what I mean? So sod you. Do you know? So there's I don't understand why somebody would do. But anyway, I'm not the authority on anything, so don't listen to me.
I think you're right. You know, it'd be like, why allow someone to sort of take it away? You know, just like that. Whereas if you created your own version, like Rebecca Gold, I have to say, I really hope that you are going to find a way to enable those posters to be purchased, because I am buying one of those. Because that's I love it. It's like it's like Raiders. It's like that style.
It's the Drew Struzan style. I saw this guy. He was on Facebook. Arthur, I can't remember his surname, but I saw he did one on Close Encounters, and I loved it. I was like, "Did you do this?" And he went, "Yeah." And I said, "Would you do this for me?" And so I
Brilliant.
paid him, and he did like a landscape and a portrait of Rebecca Gold. I actually told him how I wanted it, and like Drew Struzan and stuff like that. And he did an
Yeah.
amazing job. In fact, I'm going to try and
Fantastic
get
job.
I'm going to try and get the poster printed out, and I'm going to try and get the the actors to sign the poster.
Yeah,
And I'll probably
that'll be good.
maybe a couple, and then get them to maybe give them away or whatever. I mean, look, there you go.
That's a screen. That's it, everybody. Look how good that is. That's
Yeah.
superb. Let's see if we can get it bigger. But
Drew Struzan version of Rebecca Gold. But I mean, he's got a landscape one as well. But that's what I'm just saying. I just love the old stuff, right? And this guy, he could draw by hand. So I said to if you can do that for me, and he did it. Obviously, he did a bit of photoshopping as well. But I really like it. A lot of people like it, actually, a lot.
It's phenomenal. It really is good. And again, if you haven't in the chat, go to YouTube and like and subscribe to the Rebecca Gold YouTube channel, because it'll be great to support Ian. Because again, you see posters like this, you see what he's done, you see the behind the scenes stuff that Ian's putting up regularly. This isn't some crappy show produced in some drama hall with some part-time actor from Starbucks. You know what I mean? This is good stuff by good actors. So support it. And a good director that'll play to his ego, but I had to say it.
Let them be the look. Right, listen, there's gonna be a lot of criticism over this, okay? And I'll let you guys be the judge of it, right? I will not argue with anyone that has an opposite opinion to me on this once it's been seen. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm having a screening on the 6th of December for the cast and crew, and for the people that invited, the people that actually helped make this film. And it's going to be in a proper cinema, and they're going to watch it. And then I'm going to make sure that everyone from other countries that's actually given me money is going to get a link to watch the film. And then I'm going to have a week, and it's only going to be a week that it's open to the public, and then it's coming off. And I know that's where people are going to go, this is shit. This is crap. What is this nonsense? But hopefully you guys would enjoy it. And as I said, right, if you don't like it, I don't mind if you don't like it. It's fine with me. But what you have to know is that everyone tried their best, and we did it with hardly any money, and it took us 3 years to do by shooting twice a month. And it was very difficult to do that because of continuity and all that. We're hoping that one of the actors didn't go bald halfway through it, or or someone shaved their beard off or something like that, or what I mean. We were just hoping that didn't happen, and it didn't happen, which is quite good. So, but anyway, enough about Rebecca Gold. We're here to talk about
it's when I turn up at the end of the show as the big bad. That's
yeah.
Everyone will be shocked by it. Come in smoking a cigar.
Yeah. So we did try to get a star in it, though, but we couldn't in the end we couldn't afford it. It was like, either pay this star and we won't be able to do like 5 more shoots, or we get someone that's unknown and do 5 more shoots. And then we took the high road, obviously, but it's difficult trying to make an independent film with no help. We went to every organization, because when we were halfway, we was like, there's got to be a funding body that actually helps you complete the movie. We went everywhere, from the BFI, everywhere. No one wanted to help us. So we had to complete it ourselves. So there you go. Anyway, that's enough of that. What's next?
I was going to say, mate, I'm going to bring this up as well. Have you seen this? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action movie on the way. And what
did you see the cartoon?
Yeah, awful. Again, they made April fat and changed her color.
A fat black woman, yeah.
With dreads. It's like really unbelievable. But this is The veteran producer behind Fast and the Furious franchise is in
Why?
negotiations to take on the job of restarting Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as a live-action film franchise for Paramount Pictures. So they're going to be driving fast cars now with Vin Diesel. Is that it? Are
No.
they joining the Fast X crew? Is that what's going to happen?
Did you see the Michael Bay version? Those things look ugly.
Oh,
You see
nothing
it?
on the 1990. Yeah, nothing on the
Ugly.
1990.
They should get the creators of the Muppets back to do this film. That's what they should do. Because I was happy with the way they looked in the first movie and in the second movie, but then they started mucking around with it and stuff. I don't know how relevant Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is now today, though. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it can still work. I think it's got to be with the right people, though. I
Mm,
remember when I was at Comic Con in London, and I was
yeah.
talking to Kevin Eastman,
Mm.
obviously co-creator of the Turtles, and he was there with his incredibly beautiful wife. Funny how I
That
remembered that.
happens. That
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. And I was just talking to him at the table, and I basically said, look, I got to be honest with you. I adore the 1990 movie. I just think
Mm.
it's wonderful. I grew up on the cartoon series, but I have to say, the Michael Bay movie is complete trash. And I was just completely honest with him. And he basically smiled at me, and then his wife looked at me and she goes, "Yeah, we know." so they didn't even like it, but it
Nah,
was just
they
like
didn't like it at all.
it was.
Actually,
It just
John,
wasn't good.
Swaps might be coming on, so look out
Okay,
for his link. If he comes
yeah,
on, that is, I don't know. You just text me.
okay, mate.
Sorry about that. Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't know. I think they should be making original stuff now. I don't think they should be remaking this. I think they should save the money and make something
Yeah,
original. The problem is that they don't know what a good idea is. And
no,
again, right, the people that are making this stuff, they're all tech bots.
yeah,
Um, there are no real producers left in Hollywood. They've all abandoned ship for other
yeah.
countries and stuff like that. So the tech bots are thinking, well, Teenage Mutant Ninja, yeah, whatever. They were
Yeah.
good, Let's get them back, And it's like, well, shall we?
Um,
I don't know.
do you know what? Before the show tonight,
Mm.
I was watching a GQ interview they did with Matt Damon,
Yeah,
and he was talking about when they were making Goodwill Hunting, and they got Robin
yeah,
Williams into it, and they
yeah.
said at the time they said him and Affleck obviously were nobodies, so they
Mm,
basically pitched a budget of like $500,000 for a big name star, because that
yeah.
would then get them the gig to get a movie greenlit. And
Mm,
Robin Williams did it.
mm,
And he said this goes to the kindness of Robin Williams is for Saving Private Ryan. Matt Damon had auditioned for it and they turned him down.
mm,
And they were, I think it was somewhere in America, but where they were filming Goodwill Hunting. I think it wasn't
mm,
Philadelphia; it was the other place. But they they were Steven Spielberg turned up because he was just across the road filming something else,
mm,
and he was there talking to Robin Williams, and Robin Williams basically was going to go to lunch with Steven Spielberg, and he just said to Matt
mm.
Damon, he goes, "Come with us,"
Yeah.
and he introduced him to Steven Spielberg, and they were sitting there chatting, and Matt Damon said, because Robin Williams said, everybody's got to meet what he classed as like the GOAT, Spielberg
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
iconic. You've got to meet Spielberg. So he thought, I'll go and I'll get to know him. And he got chatting and he talked about another film that he'd done. And Spielberg was like, do you know what? I think you're what I'm looking for Saving Private Ryan.
Mm,
And again, the rest was history. But he
mm.
goes, if Robin Williams hadn't have been that kind, he wouldn't have got the gig. But again,
Yeah.
it's you haven't got anyone anymore like a Spielberg that for me is that iconic, apart from Spielberg himself, which he's more producing now, isn't he?
Well, he's
Really?
directing. He's directing a film, a UFO film, and he's teamed up with John Williams. But the problem is that the format of movies and the format of entertainment is changing because of the the tech billionaires that's taken over entertainment. Now
Yeah.
there is a rumor that this Zack Snyder universe might come back, and the reason why they're saying it might come back is because there are some bods in Saudi Arabia that have more
Yes.
money than God
Yeah.
that are bidding for Warner Brothers, and they say that if they take over, they're going to bring back the Zack universe. So, again, right, entertainment is taking a big U-turn. These people that are in charge of entertainment in Hollywood, if there is such a place anymore, they're not doing it for the right reasons. They're not doing it for
No.
artistic reasons. They're doing it so that they can push all of this to their products, whether it be Apple, whether it be Amazon, whether it be Netflix. They're all doing that, right? And entertainment as an art form is slowly depleting. So I don't know what the future holds for real good movies. I don't know.
It's a concern because again, they're kind of, if you've got like the Saudis that are buying it up and people
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
it's almost like what I say with football teams in the UK now, sort of the Premier League. They're bought up by, billionaires, and some of the billionaire owners, they basically want to pick the teams themselves, not the manager.
Yeah.
So they control it. I mean, Abramovich, when he was at Chelsea, used to do that. He'd say, I want these players playing this today to the manager, and the manager had to do it. But I think also with this, that's like you say, that would probably eliminate the woke side of it because they don't like the woke side of it themselves. So that would probably go from that studio if they bought it. But the trouble you've got is that you're right, they would basically only greenlight stuff they like themselves. They wouldn't allow the creativity to just freedom to just go,
well,
do you know what? Go for it. Try that idea.
Maybe you're right, but it's the same thing if Netflix bought Warner Brothers as well. They'll have that back catalog, but also, Netflix is a bit woke as well, depending. So either way, right? As film studios as we know it, is kind of disappearing. I mean, was it A42 or 2 where it is? What's that one called? A whatever. That they're still doing well with horrors and stuff like that. And
What
small
Angel Studios?
then there's
well.
Angel Studios as well, yeah, that are Christian based, and they're making films as well. I don't really I seen a few Angel movies, but I still they're not very good. They're okay. They need to be of a level that is good. Do you know what I mean? It's like I watched a Christmas movie a couple of nights ago, right?
Are you already in the zone? Are you?
Yes, I am actually. I am, yeah. So I watched. Oh God, I watched 2, right? And I stopped watching one. There's a new one on Netflix with Alicia, what's her name? Silverstone. Is it Silverstone?
Yeah.
She played Batgirl, whatever, and she was in that film, famous film.
Yeah, Batman and Robin.
She was in Batman and Robin. She was also in what's that film called? She was a teenager.
Yeah, not Legally Blonde. It was the other one.
No, the other one. Yeah, the other one. Oh God, somebody
that made her, wouldn't it? But
yeah,
but for me, I'll always remember her from the Aerosmith video. To be honest.
Okay, right. So I was watching this, right, and it was about her and her husband's getting divorced, but they were still chums, and they still wanted to make a perfect Christmas for their grown-up children.
Okay.
And so and also who's in it is Sabrina the witch is in it, the girl who plays Sabrina the witch. She's a lot older, obviously. So they're in the kitchen and they're talking, whatever. Right. And then like these two people come in, these two old gentlemen come in, and then she goes, "Oh, it's my uncle's." This is my uncle's. And I was like, okay, that's enough of that. I switched it off. I was like, I mean, no disrespect, right? I just feel that these things are pushed. I mean, in itself, it's okay, it's fine, but it just feels like it's there deliberately to push that agenda. Do you know what I mean? And then I watched another Christmas film, and I can't remember what it was called either. It was it was okay, right? It wasn't great, but it was okay, right? There's a whole point to where I'm coming from.
So you're that Hallmark customer then. You're
No,
the
no, no, no,
Hallmark channel
no.
customer.
So
You're
hold
their
on.
one viewer.
So I watched this one. I watched this one because the premise sounded fun. It was basically about a guy in the 18th century who was quite rich and was getting married to this woman for convenience, and didn't like this guy because he was a brigand. And
Yeah.
then he got this clock for his girl, the girl that he was going to marry, that he really didn't like, and he was trying to fix it because it wasn't working. And he fix it, and he puts it on the shelf, and then he gets dizzy and he falls down, and then he wakes up in the future. He wakes up in the future, and then when he wakes up, he's still in the house, but he finds out that his house has been turned into a museum, and he's quite
Right.
famous, and he's been missing since. Nobody knew who he went and whatever. So I watched it because of the premise. I thought that's a cute premise, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's usual where he falls in love with this girl and blah 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 whatever. But the reason why I bring these two films up is because we've never had a proper serious Christmas movie with heart in it. I mean, we can talk about Elf, we can talk about Die Hard, we can talk about all these films we watch, the Grinch, whatever, at Christmas time. But the only one that stands out above all of them is It's a Wonderful Life. And the reason why that stands out so much is because that movie wasn't trying to make us laugh. It wasn't trying to be goofy. It was trying to actually give out a point about
Mm.
life and the way things are in those days, and the struggles that we have. And if you keep doing good, that is your reward at the ending.
Yeah.
If you know the film, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I keep trying to seek to try and find a film like that, but I've never ever come across a film like It's a Wonderful Life. I mean, all the films they make, the modern ones, they're all kind of plastic films. They're all kind of by
Yeah.
the numbers. You know what I
The,
mean?
the last Christmas movies that I liked actually,
Mm.
that were good fun, was the Christmas Chronicles ones with Kurt Russell,
They were
on
okay.
Netflix.
The first one was
I
okay.
just liked relaxing. You could switch off and just
Yeah.
enjoy them. I think for me, similar to what you said, really, the one that
Mm.
I always adore over Christmas is Muppet Christmas Carol, because
Yeah, but
that always makes me smile. But it's also that message again of it, about.
yeah, but John, what I'm saying is that uh, uh, I'm looking for a Christmas film that
Yeah,
actually is quite serious and has a good thing to say. I mean, it's the Muppets, right? So it's Muppets, right? Another
yeah,
good Christmas film that I thought was really good. People will debate me with this. Is The Bishop's Wife, the original with Cary Grant,
yeah,
right? That is not a comedy. That is not a funny anything. That is kind of like a serious Christmas movie with a lot of heart, and a lot of things to say about goodness, and
yeah,
then how people should be nice at Christmas time and all that. That's the kind of films I'm looking for. But every time I come across a film, it's either a comedy, it's either a kids film, or it's either a romance. But
yeah,
nothing that for the heights of It's a Wonderful Life. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So
I get what you mean. Yeah,
yeah, I hope they make. I hope they try to make a film. Even the Angel stuff, the Angel Studio stuff,
mm,
it's bordering on goofy. You know what I mean? And also, again, right, if you're part of Angel Studios, you can't say things like "fuck" or he's an idiot or whatever. It's very
you're a
clear.
very bad boy.
Yes, I'm saying it's very clear. Here's the good guys, here's the bad guys. There's no in between things. And I think life is more complicated than that. If they can make a film that it's in between and you have to decide at the end or
Yeah,
whatever, then that would be better, in my opinion, rather than just clear cut. He's
yeah.
evil, that kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking about
I,
my arse, who knows?
I think for me, I always have my list of Christmas movies that I go through, but
Yeah.
I also have, because I normally take 2 weeks leave from work over Christmas, because I don't generally take like 2 weeks in the summer, because I've always been more a Christmas guy from
Yeah.
I've always had it in my head from school,
Yeah.
finishing for the Christmas holidays. So I still like that. So I'll put on, Trading Places. I'll put on Coming to America. I'll put on Uncle Buck. You know,
Yeah.
I'll put on those movies. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Santa Claus the movie.
Oh, I hate that film.
Yeah,
Hate it with passion.
I watched
So
that
crap.
a few times at cinema as a kid, because that was when, as I said to you, remember the cinema parties?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
used
I remember them. Yeah.
There were quite a few cinema parties I went to for Santa Claus the movie. Gremlins, obviously, that's a big one for me. Scrooged is always high on the list for me, just because I love Donna and I love Bill Murray and I love that film. And then I go to Die Hard. I'll do Batman Returns, and I'll move on to sort of action movies and just enjoy myself, really. But I haven't hit it yet. I haven't hit the Christmas mode yet. That'll be when I open my first chocolate on the advent calendar on the 1st.
You know
I've
what,
got to stick to the rules, mate. You're a rule breaker, you are. You should be ashamed of yourself.
No, look, no. I love Christmas so much that I want it to last longer than it actually does. So I always start in November, beginning in November, and on Magic they've got a Christmas channel that just plays Christmas tunes all the way through. Yes, it's repetitive, but I love Christmas. I love spending time with my family and, you know, enjoying the mood. But again, right, I just feel in my heart that there's something there that's trying to destroy it for some reason.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whether it be the government, whether it be the way the whole situation is at the moment. Well, you know, I mean, I'm very different.
You've seen the bollocks about Tesco this week, mate? Sorry to jump in.
What did Tesco do?
They've changed the name of Christmas trees to evergreen trees.
Well, they're a bunch of idiots, aren't they?
And basically people are just saying, right, we're boycotting Tesco now because, you know, if you don't respect, you know, it's funny how when Ramadan's up, everyone celebrates it and they've got, you know, the big celebration and everything going on in London, but you can't have Christmas on a Christmas tree with these idiots. And again, it's the brain trusts that work in these marketing departments that they think respecting the heritage and the history of the country is somehow going to drop sales for us because we'll offend certain people. Well, tough, you know, that's our tradition. Keep it. You better change it back, otherwise you're going to lose a lot of customers.
Well, at the end of the day, you know, Christmas will always live in my heart. So whatever people do, it's not going to distinguish what I believe in Christmas. Just going back to films that I'd see, it's completely different to you. I would watch Family Man with Nick Cage. I would watch While You Were Sleeping with Sandra Bullock. I would watch Die Hard because you can't go through Christmas without watching a Die Hard. This year I'm going to be watching Die Hard 2 instead of Die Hard.
Die Harder.
Yeah, Die Harder. Yeah. What else would I watch? I might watch The Bishop's Wife because that's on Amazon and they haven't cut that up yet, which is good. And It's a Wonderful Life. I'll watch the full version again. Because I've got that on Blu-ray. But I think Christmas is very important. And it feels like they're trying to get rid of it. As every year passes, it's really strange. That Boots advert last year, that pissed off a lot of people. But they tried to they boycotted it for a point. But now everybody still shops at Boots. So boycotting's bollocks, basically. You know, they're talking about Tesco. You just said to me about Tesco's. They're going to boycott it for what? Who's going to do that? 20 people? People are still going to shop at Tesco's. Do you know what I mean? But it's like
it's the same thing with M&S. It's the same thing with M&S with Dawn French. You know, people couldn't stand Dawn French because of what she said earlier this year, but yet they put her on the advert M&S. And you're right. I wish they wouldn't, but people will still shop at M&S.
They will.
You know,
they will
because it's M&S.
Yeah.
It really annoys me. When this happens, it's like, you know, if you went into any other country in the world and you basically started changing what they respect and what they like, there would be uproar. It would kick right off. But our country, we seem to just accept that that's allowed now. That's something that we should just do.
Mate, we're not accepting it because there's going to be a lot of walks. I mean, you've seen that walk that we did recently. It was over 1 million people
Yeah,
walking in London, even though the news reports were saying it wasn't. It was bollocks. You've just got to look at the footage, and you know
yeah,
it's over 1 million.
yeah,
People will not stand for it. And the next election, Starmer is gone. But the
yeah.
question is, who will replace him? Will it be Farage? Is Farage good for this country? I don't know because I don't know politics.
No,
But he seems to be saying the right things. I
I
don't
think
know.
I think my view on it is that
Mm,
reform need to get in. That's
mm,
just where we are now,
yeah,
because nobody trusts the Conservatives, nobody trusts Labour,
Labour,
because of what
no,
they've done to the
yeah,
country.
yeah,
So I think reform will get in, but I don't
mm.
think reform will do anything that they say they're going to do. So I think there'll be a one government party, and then that'll be them. Then it's a case of, well, who do you go with after that? And that's, it's all on reform. If they want to make a success and be in power for longer, they've got to do what they say they're going to do. And I'm
Well,
skeptical, but
as far as I can see, he's friends with Trump.
mm,
I've seen pictures of them, whatever. Let's just hope for the best on that one. That if they do get in, they will do what's right for the country. You know, I mean, we'll see, right? I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. You know, who knows? Who knows? Again, right? I think we have to leave it. We have to have faith that this country will repair itself because there's a lot of crap happening in this country.
yeah,
And it's I can't believe that our country has gotten to this point where
terrible.
even the Americans have more intelligence than what's going on
Yeah,
in this
just
country. And I'm not saying I'm not being insulting to Americans, right? But England has always been, you know, one step ahead when it comes to
yeah.
logic and stuff like that. And I can't believe we've gone back so far that we can't even see it anymore. It's ridiculous.
No,
But
it's
anyway,
insane. But
yeah.
I will say on a funny thing is
Mm.
Starmer is just the gift that keeps on giving, because he's turned up at that COP summit today. And did you see him? He went to walk to the leaders and he tripped
Oh
and
dear.
he almost landed on his face. And it's
Oh
like,
dear.
our prime minister, everybody.
Okay, so on another subject, right? This is another subject, right? Zendaya.
Yeah.
Do we think Zendaya's pregnant? Because
And if
she's turned
so,
up
by
to
who? Oh, sorry.
she
No, 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 not that. Not that. Not that.
she's turned up to a lot of things wearing a long coat. So there's a lot of speculation that Zendaya is pregnant by Spider-Man. Is she gonna have a spider kid? Who knows?
What, just
Uh,
webs are shooting out.
Shoot out, yeah. Who knows? But wow. What do you think? Do you reckon she's pregnant? How
Mm,
could you tell? She's so thin. It's unbelievable.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
It's going to happen sooner or later, isn't it?
I don't know.
Really,
I don't know.
you
He's
know,
very protective
once
over her, isn't he?
once they figure out the birds and bees, it'll
Uh,
happen.
you know what? I like Tom Holland. I think he's a decent chap. Every time he talks, I warm to him. I think he makes a good. I think he's a good Peter Parker. And there's one scene in it where Zendaya was whatever, and she was signing autographs, and Tom Holland just grabs her hand and pulls her away because he was
Yeah,
just worried about her and stuff like that. So he seems like a
I,
man in charge.
yeah, I, I
So,
did, I did, I
it's
did
very
read
rare
somewhere.
today.
I did read somewhere last year that there
Yeah.
was this talk that he had apparently suggested that after
Mm.
he's done his last Spider-Man movie, not
Yeah.
Cyberman movie, that'd be interesting.
Spider
Spider-Man
Man.
movie, yeah.
Yeah.
He was just going to retire and step away from it because he just doesn't like all of the baggage that goes with Hollywood, and the all of the headache with
Well,
the
he's got to
press and
step.
all of that.
Yeah, but he's got to step down, John, from Spider-Man because he's been doing it too long, and he's not a teenager anymore. Yeah, he is Spider-Man. They can carry on with him, but I think it makes sense that he will step down because he can't carry on just making Spider-Man. He's an actor. He needs to be in other stuff. And I'm not talking about
Yeah,
that stupid game thing he did. What was that one called? That
Uncharted, it was
crappy, yeah,
terrible.
Uncharted was terrible. But he needs to star in films that proves his acting chops. And he's a good
Yeah,
actor as far as I'm concerned. He needs to do that. So he needs to step away from Spider-Man and let somebody else take over as Spider-Man. And but the thing is, though, we've had Spider-Man for the last coming up to about 10 years now. So
Mm.
I don't know how people are going to warm to another one, because remember when Toby started, the last Spider-Man we had was Nicholas Hammond on TV, right? So when we had this new Spider-Man, we were like, this is Spider-Man. We see him swinging. It was like, oh my God, they've done it.
Yeah.
And then Toby, and then they had what's his name? Andrew
Andrew
Garfield,
Garfield. I
which
like
flopped.
Garfield as I like
Did you?
Garfield as Peter Parker and Spider-Man, but
As the
the
hipster
films are not
Spider-Man.
good. And again, that's
Mm.
that's Kurtzman, isn't it? But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember watching it was either the first one or the second one, and
Mm,
I got to this point with it, and I thought this is flipping stupid. Where he breaks up with Gwen,
mm. Oh
right?
yeah.
And then he goes and has a cry in his bedroom, I think, at some point.
Mm,
But then he goes back to say he's going to be with her again, and he's like fist pumping and he's really happy. Then it goes to another scene a bit later where he's split up with her again. And you're like,
mm.
you've padded this out, you lazy so and so's. It's just
Is that the second
terrible.
one?
It might be the second one because that's the one where she, you know, breaks her
Buys
neck,
the
breaks her
farm. Yeah.
spine. Yeah, exactly. So I liked him. I thought he was brilliant in No Way Home. I really
Mm.
liked that they did do him justice, especially when
They did.
he saves MJ with the
Yeah.
rope, and
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
like trying to hold it together, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And she's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, you okay?" And he's thinking back to Gwen. That was really
Yeah.
well done.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think because there's been rumors again that Sony were going to greenlight a Garfield movie, and there is also talk of a Raimi Spider-Man 4 still,
No,
isn't there?
they should look. They shouldn't. The Garfield movie wasn't very good. The way he played Spider-Man was completely wrong. If I was going to greenlight anything, I would get Sam Raimi back and have an older Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. That's if Tobey Maguire wants to do it.
Yeah.
Because Tobey Maguire's a producer now and he's produced a lot of stuff. So whether he wants to go back acting is another matter. But I would just make one and just be done with it with Tobey
Yeah,
Maguire.
I get what they were doing with the Garfield Spider-Mans. They were going with the early 2000s onwards,
Yeah,
what
yeah, yeah.
was the Ultimate Spider-Man run, which was different to the original run.
Yeah.
But like you say, when you go and watch No Way Home and you got Tobey Maguire turns up, he's the goat at that point because
He
he's
is,
like,
yeah.
I love those movies, and he's like, he runs it. And when he does that bit where he's talking over Tom Holland's Spider-Man, where he's stopping him from killing the Goblin,
Yeah.
and he's saying that speech to him, it's brilliant. And then he gets run through, and I was like, don't kill him off, don't kill him off, don't kill him off.
Yeah.
I want to see him again. And again, he was so good at it. I would love a new Raimi Spider-Man. I really would.
Yeah.
But we know how it works now. We know that they're not going to rest it. They're gonna just literally go straight in to recast and go again, aren't they? Instantly, because Sony knows it's cash cow.
Well, Sony has to have it. If they don't do a Spider-Man film in 5 years, they lose the rights. So that's why they have to keep making them. So I think it's 5 years. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I did play the Spider-Man game. It's the only game I've actually played.
Yeah, that's a good game.
Okay,
First one is, second one's woke.
Yeah.
The first one is brilliant,
where he teams up with that policewoman, doesn't he, in the game?
Yeah, and also if you look at the first Spider-Man game, Mary Jane is super hot in the first one, and then they ugly fire in the second one.
Yeah.
So that just great and then terrible.
they've never made a proper Spider-Man film, as far as I'm concerned. In Toby, even though I love Tobey Maguire, it shouldn't have been MJ. Should have been Gwen and then MJ. And then the Green Goblin should have been terrifying. I always say this: the best Spider-Man adaptation of all time so far is the Spectacular Spider-Man, the cartoon Spectacular Spider-Man. They did that right. That was perfect. Had Gwen, had Mary Jane in it, had all the characters that were supposed to be, and was brought up to a modern day thing without any woke.
Yeah.
So that was before the woke, I guess. So that was the perfect. If I was going to make a Spider-Man film, I would base it on the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon, which was really well done. But anyway,
Yeah. I
here's
think,
hoping that it keeps going, I guess.
yeah, exactly. And again, you know, from the MCU, Zendaya
Mm.
wasn't Mary Jane, was she? She was called
No,
MJ, but
no,
it was established it wasn't Mary Jane.
but
And
it's
there's
not, still not
rumors
Mary
that there
Jane.
will be one. Yeah, there will be
Yeah.
one, a proper Mary Jane
Well,
coming.
well, I don't know, but we'll see. Um, but
What
yeah, go on.
what I was going to say, mate, what I didn't like about the MCU, the Holland Spider-Man movies, was they effectively made him Iron Boy. And he was being mentored by Tony
I
Stark,
didn't mind
whereas
that.
I just want my Peter Parker and Spider-Man. He's intelligent to be building his own gadgets, and I like
No,
the
but
fact how the last one, how the
yeah.
last one ends is good because
Mm.
he's stripped back. He's got his outfit, and it looks like he's going back to doing neighborhood stuff, which is what I love about Spider-Man. I don't want the big. I want the neighborhood Spider-Man fighting his villains. You know what I mean?
Well,
That's what I want.
the reason why they did that is because they don't have the rights to Iron Man, do they? Sony.
Yeah.
So that's why they got to do that. But I didn't mind Spider-Man being coached by Iron Man at all. I didn't mind that at all. I thought it was a fresh take because if they tried to copy the Raimi version or the Garfield version, it'd just be the same thing. So I
Yeah.
welcomed the fact that he was talking to Tony Stark, and Tony Stark obviously saw him as a kind of like a son kind of thing, and he was like the father figure. I kind of liked that. They got rid of the Uncle Ben thing, and they
Mm.
changed Aunt May into a hottie. You know what I mean?
Oh
And
yeah.
I think I think those were good moves because they just couldn't copy what was gone
Mm.
before. And I think it was very clever that they did that. And I like that. So I didn't mind it at all. I didn't mind him getting told off by Tony Stark, that kind of
I,
stuff. So
I always found in the comic books as well, because even as a kid, I always thought, blimey, Aunt May is so old
yeah, she is. Yeah,
for an
she
aunt,
is.
you know.
Yeah,
I was like, she's like grandmother level, you know,
yeah,
for an aunt. So
yeah.
when people kicked off about Marissa Tomei sort of
Mm.
becoming Aunt May, I didn't have a problem with it at all because she's smoking hot.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, it's in line with what's happening today. Do you know what I mean? So, and I did understand it had to fit into the Marvel universe. Spider-Man, if Spider-Man was going to be part of the Marvel universe, it had to fit in there. I loved the introduction to him when he was introduced in what was that one called? It wasn't Endgame. What was the one he was introduced in? Civil
Oh,
War.
Civil
Civil
War,
War.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's
I
talking to
love the way he
Cap.
was introduced. Yeah, yeah. I love the
Yeah.
way he was introduced in that. So again, right. I didn't mind it at all. I thought Tom Holland made a good Spider-Man, and I think the idea behind the new Spider-Man kind of worked for me anyway. A lot of people
I,
don't agree, but hey.
I think for me, if we were in another era of
Mm,
Marvel, I would be excited by the fact we've now got the Fantastic Four, and I want Spider-Man linking up with the Fantastic Four and Johnny and all of that, you know, and the shenanigans that go on there, like they did in the comic books. But
mm.
I know now in the current iteration of Marvel, I'm not going to get that wonderful stuff from the comic books,
No,
unfortunately.
you won't. You won't.
No,
Mm. The
it's
thing is,
going to
though,
be altered.
the world has changed so much, right? Spider-Man used to be a photographer. Now everybody's got their phones where they take pictures. Also, newspapers aren't prevalent anymore, so that's why they changed it to Jonathan J. Jameson owns what is it?
Perfect casting.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I didn't like the idea he didn't have any hair in his head. That was
Yeah, I
stupid.
didn't like that. You know, that was clearly because he'd rushed from another set somewhere,
No,
wasn't it? You know,
well,
because
they
it
say
was like
that.
because he hasn't got any hair in real life, has he?
No,
Uh,
but they say that, but it's because that they didn't want to clash with the rights that Marvel had over JJ Jameson.
Okay.
And so,
Stupid.
well, and so, but as I'm
If that's
saying,
the case.
it's like that's a stupid excuse. Oh, he rushed over another set. Well, you're Hollywood. You've got money. You could have got someone to bring the wig in, or you could have got some. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's bollocks,
Or
basically.
don't
So
have him in it then. You
yeah,
know,
exactly, exactly.
if you're not going to go the full hog.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like you say, sometimes yeah, it's these execs again, isn't it? You know, where they come up with a good idea and then they have a bit of a brain fart, you know, as they're doing it, and it's just, oh no, it's not quite as it should be.
No,
Um,
it's not that, John. What it is that the producers and exec producers, they think they want to be part of the creative process. But what they don't realize is they're not creative. So they push themselves into the creative process and tell people to do this and do that because they have the money and they're actually paying for it to work. And that's where the trouble starts. I mean, just got to talk to Tim Burton when he was making the first Batman film. John Peters kept interrupting and telling them they need this and they need that. And Tim Burton knew they didn't need any of that stuff. So
yeah,
that's what
yeah.
happened.
I was also going to say to you,
Mm.
there's now rumors out this week as well that are doing the rounds that Kurtzman is definitely out at Paramount. You know, if that becomes official, okay, I'm going to be like an Ewok at the end of Return of the Jedi, just dancing around the fire, celebrating.
well, look, it's like celebrating the end of World War II when thousands and millions of people got killed
Yeah,
for stupid reason. I mean, the Star Trek is damaged. It's not
yeah,
damaged beyond the point where you can't bring it back, but it is very, very damaged. And again, you'll always if they make this new Star Trek and they put it back on the timeline, original timeline, you'll have all kinds of stupid people on X going, why are they doing that? Where's so
yeah,
and so? Where's Tilly? Where's this? You know, they're part of the universe and all that rubbish. You'll get a load of people. In other words, what I'm saying is it should never have happened in the first place. These
yeah,
stupid idiots allowing them to destroy Star Trek, to deface Star Trek, to make Star Trek very gay, to make look
yeah,
again, I would say I've got nothing against people being gay. It's great, you know, but please make your own stuff. Don't go into a place where, you know, you infiltrate it
agree.
and leave it for dust. Because
Yeah,
that's not right. And this is what you've been doing to most of the IPs that are out there, especially Doctor Who. We all know about Doctor Who, but
yeah,
Star Trek.
we do.
That's yeah, Star Trek. Star Trek has a chance to recover, especially if they go back to the timeline and forget about the Kelvin timeline. So the Kelvin timeline can exist, but we just
Yeah,
don't refer to it. We just go forward, maybe create a new Enterprise with a new crew, with a new captain, with new dangers,
yeah,
another 5-year mission, that kind of thing. That would
I
work, in
agree.
my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this the other day because I think you guys might have talked about it on Brown's channel briefly
Mm.
when I was watching
But,
it. And my view is similar. Go into the future, but do what they did with Next Gen compared to the original series and the original series movies. They just shifted
yeah.
it 80 years into the future. You know,
Well, they
so
could do
things
that.
are still similar, but the
Mm.
technology is upgraded. The way they see the universe and the way humanity's changed is very different from the original series, but
Mm.
it's still familiar as Star Trek. It then enables you to develop new alien creatures and characters
Yeah.
to move forward with. I mean, I was thinking about it the other day. One creature from Star Trek that they did more with in DS9, but they never really developed anything further was the Breen. The Breen turned up
Mm.
at the end of DS9. They were
Yeah.
a great looking alien species. You know, you could do
Mm.
stuff with the Breen. There's so much more you could do if the right writers are involved with it.
I don't think these people are the right writers, though. That's the thing. They may be, but they, you know, Dungeon and Dragons and TV stuff and Bones. It's like, are you really qualified to write Star Trek? But we'll find out because, again, Harv Bennett wasn't a Star Trek fan, and he brought back Star Trek with a bang. Do you know what I mean? With
Yeah,
Wrath of Khan. So you never know.
unbelievable.
These people might do the same thing if they're not part of the Star Trek world. They might, you know, they might do the same thing. But
lower the
But
budget as well. That's what they
yeah,
need to
they
do.
should. Yeah, they need to, because Star Trek, wherever you like it or not, is a niche thing. When it
Yeah.
comes to it's a niche entertainment, and so they need to treat it as such. They don't need to put millions or more, not
This
millions, maybe even
this
more
is
into it.
this is the argument I've always had with Doctor Who, and Doctor
Mm.
Who, where they started trying to push it as a global product. The reason it worked is because it was a very lovable niche science fiction product. It was loved in the UK and it grew to have a following worldwide. When they started trying to make it global and saying, oh, we think, like Russell T Davies, we think we can compete with the Marvels of this world and the Star Wars and all of that. No, it was never meant to be that type of thing, and the second they started doing that is when, yes, they had all the woke stuff, but it was also pushing it globally as opposed to making it as that quaint UK show, that it started to go wrong as well. I mean, it's like doing a Star Trek series set in London,
Well,
it's San Francisco, is Starfleet,
yeah.
Academy and all of that. No, actually, let's not talk about Starfleet Academy. That's a
No,
wrong
but
example.
things are going to grow, John. You know what I mean? I mean, Doctor Who could, we love this. We love the classic Doctor Who, and I like the 2000s.
Yeah,
But from the 2000s, it grew into something else, and that's what it needs to evolve. And after the 2000s, it needs to evolve into something else as well, but still keep the essence of Doctor Who. That's what it needs to
yeah.
do. Um, so I'm not against change when it comes to Doctor Who. Hold on. Swapper's just saying, "Are we still on?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah, we're here.
yeah, come on,
We
yeah, where are
exist.
we? Yeah, oh, hold
Yeah, I
on,
mean, as Boomer Doug is saying, Star Trek and Doctor Who need to move forward and not back. Stick to the
yeah,
basic principles, respect the source, but
yeah,
make them original. And I think
yeah, yeah,
that's the trouble, isn't it? Whenever I hear the classic lines, we're going to update it for a modern audience,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
when the alarm bells start going off for me
yeah,
straight
yeah,
away. And
yeah.
I think Star Trek could be saved. I think we've talked about Doctor Who to death about my views on. I think
But
it's
it can
done
be saved. It can be
now.
saved if we go back to Doctor I Let You Go. If we go back there,
Yeah,
it can be saved. Of course, it can be saved, but they're not going to do that, are they? If they're still in this woke mindset, then it's not going to happen. What
yeah.
can I say?
Did you see that there was an article out today that over 2 million people this year have cancelled their TV license?
Yeah, yeah,
The
and it's going to get
BBC.
worse. It's going to get
Yeah,
worse. Look, like the BBC was Britain's Hollywood. In the 60s and the 50s, it was BBC Centre was Hollywood, the British Hollywood, and they're doing the same thing as Hollywood. They're literally ignoring the fact that the woke agenda is destroying entertainment, and
yeah,
especially in this area, and that's what it's doing.
yeah,
So yeah, so that's what it's doing. So look, again, Star Trek can be saved if it's done properly, and they're allowed to do just. If I was the execs, just leave them alone.
yeah,
Once they come up with an idea, look at it. Don't trust yourself because you know nothing about sci-fi. Get someone in that knows about sci-fi to give you a second opinion on what they come up with,
yeah.
and take it from there. Right? You are the captain of the ship, but you can't be stupid enough to
I
ignore people around you. Do you know what I mean?
I agree. I agree. I mean, I've said before, if tomorrow someone said to me, right, we want you to take over as producer of Doctor Who,
Yeah.
I would get people that I trust. And again, we've talked about this before. I'd get you involved. I'd get Brendan involved. I would probably call out to someone like Gary at Nerdrotic. I'd probably call out to Dan as well at Type 40.
Yeah.
And I would basically get everyone in a room and I would basically say, right, okay, look, this is what I want to do. I I want to make a Bible for the production of the show. So these things are ring fenced and cannot be altered, regardless of what stories we want to tell. This is Doctor Who. We do not alter this whatsoever. And then you work around the edges of that. That's what I
Yeah.
would do straight away, and then I would get the right people in to do it. I would obviously pay you 25 quid to direct.
What? Way too much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, that's what needs to be done. I mean, you've heard it before. Our Swappers is here then. Yeah.
Good.
Hey,
Bring him
good
on.
to see you, Swappers. Welcome.
Well, his mic's
Oh,
off.
his mic's off.
He'll be
here
on in a
second,
minute. He'll be
everyone.
in a minute.
He's booting up.
It's revving up.
Yeah.
As I said, I think Star Trek can be saved, definitely, if they did it right. If they got rid of the woke crap and they just basically went forward
Yeah.
with this new timeline, the original timeline, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
You're right, mate.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Swappers.
Oh, no sound.
He will
Yeah.
arrive.
I don't know if we.
Yeah.
I don't know what's
Number
going on, mate. Yeah. Timeless child is bollocks. Yeah. No, definitely. You get rid of that. You and then you start from the point where Picoldi changes and he changes into someone else. That's what you need to do. Is that you, Scott, banging?
He's here.
Hey. Yeah, actually,
we can hear you.
Yeah. Every time I remove my mic and plug it in again, I have to go through this absolute crap. So yeah, we can hear me at least.
I can hear you. Yeah. So Swappers, what do you think of this new direction for Star Trek?
I'm kind of excited by it, but after everything we've seen for the last 10 years, I can't really let myself get caught up in it, because I know there's every chance that it's going to be used again as a platform, and they're using this to reel us in and pull the rug. But since they've said that they're getting rid of a lot of things that have made the franchise terrible in recent memory, it's got a chance. One thing I don't like is the fact that it by the looks of it, they're going to make it another prequel, which is not the way to go. They need to make it set after the Next Generation. Take the story forwards and show us something new rather than treading old territory.
They said it wasn't going to be a prequel, or did they?
I heard. Well, I watched Dave Cullen's video, and he said it's going to take place between Enterprise and the original trilogy, or something like that.
I've heard there's a rumor of a mini series of the President Archer rumors where they're going to carry on from Enterprise. I'd heard there's going to be threads I've heard talked about that it's going to kind of link into the Romulan War and that sort of stuff, which is good. But I agree that they do need to go forward, because every time they keep going back and doing a prequel, it just says to me that they don't have the intelligence to make new stuff and have to come up with new ideas. They mine the history.
But it's not that. They destroy what's gone before and what's forward. So what they need to do is they need to not be in between Enterprise or Captain Kirk. They need to be past oh God, past they need to be past Next Generation. That's where they need to be. That's where they need to be. Right
season
there.
3 onwards.
I mean, it's like the original series had a big gap between the two, chronologically. So if they could redo that gap again, take it to another generation after the Next Generation, the sky's the limit, man. I mean, I like to think I've got a good imagination. I could come up with in half an hour a load of ideas that they could use, set in a section of the galaxy they've never explored before. It's simple. It writes itself. It's crazy.
Yeah, it does. It does. I don't understand why they won't do it, because again, it would leave canon alone. Do you know what I mean? If you're in between that canon and you change something, that it just messes up everything that's gone before or forward. So you need to be past Next Generation. Need to be past so you're still in the realm, or as you say, Swappers, even more forward. So that's what you need to do. I
like Professor R2. I sort of disagree with him here, but I respect him. I liked Picard season 3. But I will say that I would be really happy if they came back with Scott Bakula and they did a President President Archer series or a mini series, but also that they'd agreed that there was a new series that they were also doing that, like you say, was set 80 years in the future from Picard season 3. That's that way everybody wins, because you've got Bakula in a series leading on from Enterprise. There's rumors about the original writers coming back from Enterprise if that happens, and then you go 80 years into the future past Next Gen and Picard season 3, and if they're good writers, they create new creatures, new characters, new threats.
Refer to them though,
exploration.
John, I wouldn't refer, and also Swappers, I would not, if I was in charge, I would not refer to Picard season 3 at all. Because even though I enjoyed it,
don't think they would.
Even though I enjoyed it, I still thought it was wrong. It was building on a platform of straw rather than concrete. That's what it was, right? You had a platform with straw, and you had to make sure that Kurtzman thing was still okay, and yet you're going forward. And I totally disagree with that. I like, and all this crap about Data being fat and old, and it was just rubbish. You know what I mean? It's like I enjoyed it, but it was still rubbish. And I would, if I was in charge, I would ignore it completely. It didn't happen. I'd say it didn't happen. Let's just go forward. You know,
I would love Terry Matalis to come back and do Star Trek because I think he is top draw. I really do. His 12 Monkeys series I really love. I would also say that with him coming back, I think he would knock it out of the park with it. I think what you're just saying, Ian, kind of adds to this, because he was coming in with one arm tied behind his back. He had to make an entertaining series on a very low budget, from what I'm told, and he had to try and sort of step walk over all of the cobblers that Kurtzman had done in Picard season 1 and 2. So to get what we did and it to be really enjoyable, he did well, and he got a good result for me. But it's just like you say, there's so much contamination. They would just need to go, look, we're 80 years in the future. We're forging forward now. We're not even going to mention all of that stuff. Right. Where are we now? We're now in the Vata system or something like that for the first episode. You don't talk about anything else. What do you guys think?
It's one of the things that made the Orville so good, because it was essentially Star Trek, but we were seeing all new ships, all new races, all new places. And that was compelling alone. You know, forget about the rest of it. It was just good to sit down and see something completely new that we hadn't seen. So they could easily do that with this, and just put a Star Trek coating on it with new uniforms, a new generation of ships. Doesn't even need to be the Enterprise. You know, we could just have a brand new ship. I mean, Voyager did well enough with a new ship. DS9 had new ships. Didn't need the Enterprise. So we don't need to keep that lineage.
I think it needs to be an Enterprise. And also, please do not have a woman captain again. I want a male captain that is in command, in control. That's what I want.
I've got an idea that will please everybody. We have a captain of no discernible gender.
No trans, no this.
Well, we do know from Kurtzman Trek that Klingons have 2 penises, so who knows what else they've got.
Oh my god,
absolutely,
it's so bad. I mean, again, when you always say, like you, Ian, you say, I don't want a female captain. I've had this before, and it's like, oh, you're just a sexist person, or you're a phobe, or something like that. Yeah, but I enjoyed Voyager. I really liked Janeway as captain.
I did. I liked
it. So we were quite happy with the diversity back in the day.
Oh yeah.
But what we want it to be earned. So I want, like one of the producers of Next Gen said, he goes, we want, when he found out Patrick Stewart was cast and didn't have any hair, he said, but I wanted a sexy, virile, like a William Shatner type Kirk character that, sleeps with the women and goes and is heroic,
Yeah.
And it wasn't quite what he got originally.
Well, it was because Star Trek has developed. I mean, again, I would say that if you're in a IP and you've come back and you're going to take on the IP, it needs to grow. It needs to develop something else. And I think the first season of Star Trek Next Generation was absolute shit, in my opinion. The second one was okay. The third one was great. You know, so I'm saying, so it
grew.
Just
took time to get its feet, didn't it?
Yes.
It just took time to get into its stride, like most series.
Yeah.
I think the massive thing, guys, for Star Trek: The Next Generation was Michael Piller coming in season 3.
Yeah.
Because before that, like you say, it was very old style. It was episode of the week kind of stories. And then he came in and he said, right, okay, what we're going to do this week, it's going to be a Worf story. This week, it's going to be a Picard story. And he made it more about a particular character in that episode. And the writing was so much better and it took off. But you're right. Season 2, there are some good stories in season 2, but season 1 is painful to get through.
Painful, really very painful.
Every time.
Overacting, everything. It's crazy. Overacting.
The one where Tasha Yar is kidnapped by the African men onto the planet.
Yeah.
It's just some of the worst stuff I've ever seen in my life.
There was that episode where Wesley Crusher threw the ball over the fence and he got the death penalty for it. And I'm like, what is this?
Beers, the way he is now as a person in real life, I wish they'd actually given him that injection.
And also, right, the Next Generation changed things as well, right? So we had Kirk and Spock and everything, but they had the second, and then they had the counselor, you know, on the bridge. There's 3 chairs rather than just one. So they did change a few things about it, which I thought was a good change, to tell you the truth. And I was fascinated by Data. When I first saw, I was fascinated by him. I was like, this is a really interesting character. Do you know what I mean? And you need something like that so Data was the Spock of the Next Gen, wasn't he? So you need characters like that.
We had in DS9 we had Odo, didn't we? He was like the kind of going out.
Yeah.
And he was great for that as well. You know, I guess in Voyager 7 of 9, I kind of fit that role, I suppose.
Well, she ended up in season 2 she started in? Was it?
Season 3.
She was in season 3.
When the Borg first entered it,
Yeah, because it wasn't doing very well.
Yeah,
it wasn't doing very well. The first season, the second season didn't do very well, did it? And then the third season, it kind of kicked off a bit. Yeah. So
credit to Kate Mulgrew, because she treated her like shit for that run. And she did come out a few years ago, and she's on record as saying it. She goes, I've apologized to Jerry for this. At the time, my insecurities, I'm paraphrasing, but her insecurities were acting out, because she said she was brought in as the female captain to run this ship. And then next thing you know, they're saying, well, it's not sustaining the audience, so therefore we're going to bring in a very beautiful, sexy woman in a catsuit to boost the audience up. So she felt very insecure about that, from what she said in interviews, I believe. And that's what led to her, you know, having the attitude with Jerry. But
well, when you look at Voyager, right, again, that is always one character that's fascinating. And for me, it was the Doctor. The Doctor, every
Robert
time
Picardo.
he was on screen, he steals the scene. And he was brilliant as the grouchy Doctor. So there was if you look at every iteration of Star Trek, there's always things in there that you gravitate towards. When it comes to Deep Space Nine, for me, it was always Cisco. Was the man. He was the man. Let me tell you. You know.
Do you know what? I mean, I've said to people before, and they go, "Oh, I can't believe you said that." And I've seen someone in the chat say, "DS9 is my favorite Star Trek," and people go, "Oh, but it's not Star Trek." But I always say this. I cannot, for me, I'm always changing who is my favorite character on DS9, because there are so many good ones. You know, one week it could be Kira, next minute it's Cisco, then it's Odo, then it's Quark, you know, then it's Jadzia, then it's Worf. You know, it fluctuates so often because the writing, I mean, you look at it and you look at Quark and Odo, that back and forth between those two for the entire run is superb. You won't get better than that for writing and acting. But then you got, like you say, Cisco is the badass captain. When he shaved his head,
it was so great.
That was it. That you were off at that point, because
it's almost like they went into overdrive, didn't they? When the image sort of changed, they got the new uniforms and stuff, and something just took off with that show at that point.
Yeah.
I remember I don't know if you guys watched the documentary, and it's what you leave behind, and they were talking about it, and they said that they were getting resistance for him to shave his head for the first few seasons. And they said, oh, no, they don't want that, you know, kind of the rugged, sort of tough captain. They wanted him how he was. Because if you look in the first couple of seasons, he's very skinny, isn't he? You know, with his black hair. But then when you get to that season where he's got the goatee and the shaved head, he's bulked up, man, you know, and he is great. And then the rest of it is just genius.
Yeah.
But I always say this about Sisko. He reminds me so much, the way he acts, of William Shatner. His stopping and starting sentences.
Yeah.
Like William Shatner. I don't know if you guys noticed that when you were watching it. I don't know.
You mention it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, very much like William Shatner.
I love how you know, Picard, how he deals with Q, and Q irritates him.
Yeah.
But Sisko meets Q and he just punches him in the face.
Yeah. But I love that. I love the whole idea. Like, it's obvious when they were doing Next Generation, they couldn't have two engineers, so they moved what's his name to Deep Space Nine. And the same thing with Worf as well, because Worf, as far as I was concerned, Worf grew more in Deep Space Nine than he did when he was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there was more of him. Yeah.
The whole Klingon lore stuff with Worf started in Next Gen, but it really developed in DS9. And again, one of my favorite ever Star Trek episodes is when he's been captured by him and Garak, another character I adore. They've been captured by the Jem'Hadar, and he's got to fight the Jem'Hadar in the ring. Worf has, and it's just every time he beats them, a new one is replaced that he's got to fight, and he's got like broken ribs, and he still won't go down. And it's just perfect Worf stuff. You know, great character, and it was good to see him back in Picard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was.
My favorite episode is gotta be the one where they meet Captain Kirk.
That was
episode to me.
Amazing the way they did that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But don't you think, guys, that when you talk about the difference with writers and producers and attitude now is they respected what had come before, and they wanted to treat it with respect by doing that episode. Now, with someone like Kurtzman, they would do it and they would just bastardize it.
Oh yeah,
you know, to fit their narrative, and that's the problem, isn't it? You know, that they don't respect what came before.
It's such a joy, though. I don't know about you guys. It's such a joy watching that episode because one, I was amazed how they did that, and two, it was a joy to see Kirk and Spock. I mean, even though they didn't mix with Spock, more so Kirk, Spock. But that bit where that always makes me laugh, even when I see clips from it now, is when there's like those Klingons, you know, they're really upsetting me, and they go, Klingons? Where? Where's the Klingons?
Yeah,
that always makes me laugh. Always.
And what is it? Worf says, "What he goes? We do not discuss this with outsiders." Yeah. And then Enterprise went and they filled the gap in. You know.
Oh yeah.
When it was like a, what is it, like a bio experiment that caused the issue with clones and like super soldiers or something. But I mean, again, DS9 is the happy stuff. And this is where I am with Stargate as well, and I'm pleased it's coming back, as I said earlier. But again, with Stargate Atlantis, when Robert Picardo, the Doctor from Voyager, turned up in Atlantis, heading up Atlantis, I was well happy. You know, just great actor. I'm sad that he's in Star Trek Academy, though.
Oh,
I shudder to think what they're going to do with him.
Yeah.
They're probably going to say he's been a woman before or something. He changed his hollow matrix or something.
We'll probably walk in on him and he's trying out new body types. Turns around and go, you weren't supposed to see that. Yeah.
But that's the thing, you see. Why? Look, he's a hologram. He should have been taken offline a long time ago. It's just ridiculous. It's like the last episode of Voyager when they actually make it home and have that stupid excuse where is he married or something? This hologram is married. It's like, what the fuck, man? It's just leave it alone. Just say he got deactivated or something. That makes sense. Same thing with Data in that stupid Picard. Why is Data old? make some stupid excuse up. You know, it's like, no, you could have got someone young to play Data, fix his face on, you know, do whatever, and then, you know what I mean, just had his voice. It's just ridiculous.
With Picard season 3, I think they did pretty well with shoehorning that whole explanation in there with the constraints they had and the limits that they were given. So I was fine with it personally. I know exactly what you mean though. The biggest regret I wish they'd done with Next Gen and DS9 is a crossover episode or 2 episodes, a double episode with the entire cast of Next Gen on DS9 and both crews interacting. That would have been spectacular. I can't believe they never did that. Just all we got really was the first episode with Picard and then Worf later on, and it's just a crying shit. What a missed opportunity that was.
I know, and I wish they'd done that. I did read, whether it's true or not, but I did read there was originally a plan in the early 2000s where they were going to do a movie, kind of like an Avengers style, where they all teamed up.
Yeah, that would have been great.
That would have been superb. But again, when I go back to Stargate, this is what I love about, you know, they have a SG-1 episode that links over to Atlantis. So you've got the SG crew on Atlantis in some of these episodes because they need to go and find some information in the city of Atlantis. So you have that great crossover. And you're right, I would have loved that in Star Trek. We just didn't get it. The only thing we got, I think, was Star Trek Nemesis. We had that little cameo from Janeway where she comes up on the screen on the screen, and that was it.
Who was the guest star in Star Trek, the second the Next Generation Star Trek film,
First Contact.
Who was the guest star in that?
Are you talking about the woman? You talking about?
What I'm saying is someone from another Star Trek.
Oh, Worf was technically on DS9 at that point.
Yeah, he was back, wasn't
he? So because that got a bit silly because it's like they did that film and then they did the next one, and it would be like he was back for that one because the Defiant's been attacked and it's damaged and he comes aboard the Enterprise. Then they go off on the mission, but then the next movie he's there for. I think he's there for a wedding or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And it's like he's come from DS9. Then that's that. So he kept trying to make excuses of why suddenly Worf has turned up.
I did like in First Contact where he's like, maybe this is a good day to die.
Yeah.
I really like that scene. It was really fun. But I don't know.
I do like. I mean, Worf is a fantastic character. I mean, that First Contact where you see him on the ship outside in the spacesuit, and he just he takes his batleth out, or his weapon out, and he's just going to fight the Borg. You know, it's great. Just
like to change the subject slightly. Have you guys seen the interview with Kevin Smith and Film Threat people, Chris Gore?
No, I need to check it out.
Swappers, you seen that?
No. I'm not sure I have. What was it again? Just say it again.
It's live. They interviewed Kevin Smith.
No.
The film. Yeah, so it was on X. I was watching a bit of it on X. And I didn't see all of it. But the question that kept coming to my head was, did they dare ask him what the fuck happened with He-Man?
When was it? When did they
Today.
Really? I didn't know. I had no idea. I'll have to go and watch it now. How did you skirt around that one?
That's what I'm saying. Like when you've got a big star on or person, do you dare ask them the questions that people always want to know the answers to? Or are you so-called respectful and not ask him that question? So
I think you can be respectful, but ask the question. And I think that's just a case of you talk to them in the green room beforehand and say, look, I'm going to ask you the questions about it. You know, I'm not going to say, oh, you're an arsehole. Why did you do this? But you know, it's a valid question because the whole gender swap thing, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. That Masters of the Universe revelation, the animation was fantastic. It was just everything else was crap.
Yeah, but again, right, guys, if you were interviewing him, Kevin Smith, would you ask the question?
Well, you don't know when you're ever going to have an opportunity like that again, do you? So
you're right.
Even if it's discussed in the green room that you can't raise that subject, which would be absolute bollocks, wouldn't it? Even if it's not raised, I would end up raising it. I wouldn't care, because I thought, right, well, the chances are I'm not going to get you back anyway. So if you're never going to come back because I've asked you this question, I'm going to ask it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but again, it's such a valid question, because it's like, people are tired of the fact that you come in, and again, you could swap the person that you're interviewing to several different people, couldn't you? Because it's happened so many times. And you want to ask them exactly the same question about, you want to wear your heart on your sleeve and go, why the bloody hell did you do this? You know, why did you try and turn it into a girl's brand? I mean, have you fallen on your head or something?
You could do a really smart, you could do a smart way of doing it though. You could sort of list your questions to kind of get to the bottom of the mystery of the answers that you want to get out of him. Just not ask them directly, so he wouldn't he wouldn't see it coming, if you like, and you could build it up, and then finally you could just outright ask all the obvious questions. But you could sort of begin with something like, so Masters of the Universe, Kevin, would you say it's more of a girl's brand or a boy's brand? You know? And he'd have to answer, oh, definitely a boy's brand, yeah, but I think girls could enjoy it as well. Yeah, of course, yeah, but you would say that it's more of a boy, and you could start off with that, and just embellish it as you go along.
And again, I would ask the question, guys. I'd be saying to him, so you wanted to turn it to a girl's brand, He-Man, right?
He'd probably deny it.
You've got She-Ra.
Yeah,
he'd probably deny it. He'd probably try and worm his way out of it. There was one live stream thing or recording that I saw that they did ask him, and he kind of dodged it and avoided it, whatever. Never really gave a proper answer. But all of us here and in the panel know that basically he did exactly what the exec producers wanted him to do, and he turned it into woke. That's what he did. There's no gray area there, no gray area. And that's the thing, you see, if you confront him with that, he might say, fuck you, and then come off the stream. And so that's the thing. What do? How do you balance that out? You can ask politely, but if he doesn't want to answer it, then you know the answer. Say, I reckon in the green, if they didn't ask that question, I reckon in the green room, they would have agreed that they never asked him that question, So I don't know. Because I haven't seen it.
Good to see Popcast in the chat. It's good to see you guys. If everyone hasn't had a chance yet, do have a look at their new Stargate video about the new series coming back. It really is great. They've got a lot of connections with people behind the scenes, so they know what they're talking about. So go and check out their video. It is great. So good to see you guys.
I just like to. All right, so basically on another subject, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about Star Wars, because I know this is Matt's favorite subject. So Matt, swappers, what do you think of this new one that's coming with Ryan, what's his face? Gosling. And he has to, according to what I've read, isn't the story about he has to deliver this kid who happens to be a girl, to Rey, I think, because she has the Force. I got the story wrong?
Well, the kid's a boy, as far as I can make out. Might look like a girl, but yeah, it's a boy.
Okay.
But as far as I understand, I don't know a huge amount about it. I'm strained to gather any kind of enthusiasm for anything Disney make these days. But as far as I understand, it's to do with his character babysitting a young boy and delivering this kid to Rey's the bestest ever training academy, because she can do what Luke never did and train Jedi and make a success of it.
I think it's a girl, though.
Well, it looks like a girl, but it's not.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Which one? What's this?
It's the Star Wars Starfighter thing with Ryan Gosling in it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it looks like, as far as I'm concerned, it's just another Disney product.
Yeah.
We know the formula by now. They've got. I mean, if you look at if you generally relate the quality of their output with the titles that they give their output, then it's kind of indicative. You get the idea years before of what you're going to get. We're like Solo. Oh, great! It's called Solo. That's about the level of the imagination that's gone into this. What else have we got? Ahsoka. Oh, I wonder what this could be about. This sounds mysterious and exciting. I wonder what this could be. What was it? What else? The Acolyte. I suppose technically it doesn't generally immediately spoon feed you with what it's about, but it's a load of crap. And the title is just one word and turns out to be just horrendously written. Skeleton Crew, I guess, is a bit more imaginative, but again, it's a kid's show. It's something completely unrelated with the Star Wars veneer on it. And then all the rest of the stuff. I mean, Rise of Skywalker, they asked Kathleen Kennedy directly what that title meant, and she said it doesn't mean anything. Like, right. Okay. That gives me an idea about what your film's going to be about. Then it doesn't mean anything, and we were right. Last Jedi. There's a Jedi in it, and he's the last one. The Rise of Skywalker. What? That doesn't mean literally anything. The Force Awakens. Yeah, that just means the Force is back again after however long because of Rey, and then Kenobi. Oh, this is obviously about Obi-Wan Kenobi. Not much else. No. Actually, it wasn't about Obi-Wan Kenobi. It was about a different character that we've never heard of, and Baby Leia. These things are just one-word things, completely unimaginative.
You are right. Do you know what? When you brought up the Obi-Wan series, right? What I hated about that was what I call peak woke era. And that was, they brought in that insufferable Moses Ingram.
Yeah.
And then they did that hostage video with Ewan McGregor in his car, basically going, if you hate this character, then you're clearly not a Star Wars fan. And it's like, oh yeah, jog on, mister. I'll take a pay packet to speak this one out. And it's like, that character was awful. And again, this was the whole nonsense where Vader runs her through with a lightsaber and she still survives it. Yeah, twice. She still survives it. And then at the end, she's been trying to kill Obi-Wan all the way through it. She's outside Luke's house as a kid. Obi-Wan sees her and he lets her go. Now, you wouldn't let her go because she's too much of a risk. You'd run her through. Yeah. And again, it's absolute nonsense. The only one that I actually thought was decent was Rogue One. That is at the whole Disney lot. And I think I was going to say to you guys, swappers, before you came in, have you seen, I showed it earlier, have you seen the guy that did an amateur, he did his own independent
Star Wars
show with lightsaber fights? And they've put the scene from one of the Disney animated shows and they've literally stolen it beat for beat.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Terrible. But Star Wars isn't coming back. I mean, I'm quite happy now. It ended for me with Revenge of the Sith.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi for me. Return of the Jedi for me. The prequels weren't very good. They were okay, but they lacked intelligence, if you know what I mean. Even Return of the Jedi had a bit of intelligence in there. Do you know what makes Return of the Jedi above the rest of those prequels and not bad? Is the conflict between Luke and Vader.
Mm-hmm.
If it didn't have that segment in there, it'd be all right. But I love the conflict between Vader and Luke at the ending, with the lightsaber. That's what elevates
it to the standard of the whole trilogy, doesn't it? That sequence, that whole section of the final act, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, you're right. When you look at the New Hope and you talk about the hero's journey, and Luke has to build up to where he is in Return of the Jedi. I mean, he goes to Empire Strikes Back. He gets his ass handed to him by Vader.
Yeah.
And then he's powered up for the final meeting between them, which is fantastic. But you look at Rey, she doesn't earn anything in any of those movies, does she? Instantly, she knows everything. She magically suddenly is a Jedi and she can wield the lightsaber better than Kylo Ren. It's just a complete nonsense all the way through.
Also, the lightsaber fights are terrible in the first one and even the last one. They're terrible. There's no art to them. Look at, I mean, even though I don't like the prequels, that fight between was it the Ben Kenobi and Qui-Gon and Anakin?
Oh, Darth Maul.
Darth Maul. That was brilliantly executed,
superb.
Don't you think?
Yeah,
brilliantly executed. But I honestly think that, as I said, it ended with Return of the Jedi. And the more I saw Return of the Jedi a couple of weeks ago, do you know what? I thought I'd sit down, because it's not my favorite. I thought I'd sit down and watch Return of the Jedi. And excluding the teddy bears, right? It's still a really good, entertaining movie, isn't it? I mean, it shows Luke as a hero.
Yeah.
There's no question Luke is a hero. Do you know what I mean?
And I think
that was your first, wasn't it, Swappers? That was your first Star Wars.
Oh, it was that was my second, because I saw the original in the cinema when I was 5.
Right.
And then I missed Empire, sadly, even though I knew everything about it, but I never saw it in the cinema until on VHS, like after I saw Return of the Jedi. So everybody was talking about Empire Strikes Back for years and years and years. Everyone had all the stuff except for me.
Yeah.
Now I had a load of the toys and stuff, but I hadn't seen the film, so I always felt like I was missing out, you know. And then Return of the Jedi came out. That was my movie. And Return of the third one. That was my movie, and I got taken to cinema to see that for my birthday. It just couldn't have been better. So that is my favorite out of the entire trilogy. For that reason, that's the one I have the most emotional attachment to.
Yeah.
I acknowledge that it might not necessarily technically be the best of the trilogy, but it's got the best. It's got the bits in it that I love the most out of the trilogy.
Yeah.
And I was old enough to really appreciate it on multiple levels with the original. Whereas the first movie, it was all very kind of just a firework display to me, even though it was way more. But at that early age, 5 years old, you're kind of just immersed in the spectacle. But later on, you're far more appreciative of the layers and the sort of the Shakespearean aspect of it, and the drama and the meaning and the themes and the relationships, the characters, and you're far more aware of all that. So it hit with me completely differently with Return of the Jedi.
I think, guys, with Return of the Jedi, I was just going to say that even in that film, Luke still fails at points in that film.
He does, a bit,
And that's where he's powered up, because he goes into Jabba's palace at the beginning, and he gets taken down. He gets put into the Rancor pit.
Sarlacc, Rancor,
yeah, and then it's the Sarlacc afterwards, where he then does his bit and he saves everyone. But he still wasn't overpowered at that point. He still struggles at that point, and then throughout it, you get to the end as well. I love it because for the first time, apart from a few face shots in Empire, you see the Emperor and you see how evil and sinister the Emperor is. And it's great stuff. And this is why I don't like what Disney did, because Disney took away from us. They had the expanded universe novels. They had all of that, even though Kathleen Kennedy says they didn't have any source material to work with, which is complete nonsense. Idiot. And they could have done the Thrawn trilogy straight away with the original cast. They could have just done it. They could have adapted it. It would have been fantastic. And you would have had that original crew together again. Yeah. And we never got that on screen. And that is just unforgivable, really.
Yeah. I think the entire fan bases would just echo exactly what you just said. And I've been saying that for like 10 years now. And it's a point that never loses its power. If they'd only done that, the amount of money they would have got, the amount of the size of the fan base would have increased to, because they've got like 2 more generations to get on side. And instead they've alienated everybody, half the fan base twice, and only got a handful of people left, which are the modern audience, who basically don't really have much of an interest in it whatsoever. They just glom onto franchises as soon as one looks popular, and then forget it 5 minutes later. So that's what they've turned it into now, because they refused to give fans what they wanted, and they still refuse to.
Yeah, they did. I think for me, sorry, mate. For me, right, Return of the Jedi did, as I said, I saw it a couple of months ago, and I saw it in a new light again. Right, I still didn't like the teddy bears, but I like when they're together, when they're in the ship flying to the planet. That have that banter in the ship and trying to get through the Empire's what is it thing? What is it? They have to get
deflector shield.
Yeah. trying to get through there. And when they meet, remember when they have that meeting and Luke turns up and hugs Leia and stuff like that. That's all really rejoiceful, isn't it? You're really happy to see them together.
Yeah,
they made Han Solo a bit of a clown in that one, but Luke, they didn't muck around with Luke's character.
No.
Luke grew in that film and became the champion that he always was. You know, so.
Every time you see him losing throughout the entire trilogy, every single time he fails in some way, or we think of him as a whiny idiot, or we think of him as weak or anything like that, it's something you can say to yourself, but he's going to grow from this. He's going to be so much better after this. And then the next time you see him, sure enough, he's learned, you know, and by the third movie, he's kind of this stoic person who's in control, still not completely a master, but he's getting there. And you can see, you know, and obviously the final step in his journey is when he confronts Vader and the Emperor and comes out on top right at the end of it. That's the end of his journey.
The moment you realized that he was a true hero was when he had the chance to kill Vader and he didn't. He just threw his lightsaber away. And he said that he would not be turned to the dark side, even if it means death.
You failed, your Highness. Yeah.
So that to me makes up for everything that I didn't like about the film. I thought that segment was absolutely terrific. You know, Darth Vader versus Luke again, and with the Emperor pulling the strings. I thought that was a really good concept for that segment.
There's still people out there now who say that, oh yeah, Luke defeated Vader, Luke defeated the Emperor, Luke did this, Luke was the best at this. I was like, no, he didn't do any of that. He didn't really defeat Vader. He knocked him over and stopped after that point.
Vader saved him.
Yeah, and he didn't kill the Emperor. He didn't defeat the Emperor. He didn't do anything to the Emperor.
No.
Vader did that, you know. So Luke you could say Luke had a hand in it by influencing his father, but the Emperor he wasn't touched by Luke in any way, and Luke probably wouldn't have been able to kill him anyway. So, you know, because that just goes to show that Luke wasn't the be-all and end-all, even though all these wokies all say, Luke was a Mary Sue, Luke was like a superhero, he did this, he did that, he did everything. It's like, did you see the film? Did you actually pay attention?
Yeah. Well, I think also what really annoyed me is the fact when they changed it all and they made Luke how he was in the Disney sequels, basically they erased everything that Luke had done.
He did,
and everything that Vader did to sacrifice himself at the end to defeat the Emperor. And again, I hate Rian Johnson for what he did, but JJ wasn't going to be much better. But if he had the trilogy, he would have mapped it out a bit more. But he had a minefield for the third, but that third film would still have been garbage.
But John and Matt, you know what really pissed me off? Is the logic, right? Why would Kylo Ren have Darth Vader's burnt up mask? Right. So let's look at it logically, right? Luke, Darth Vader's dead, right? So Luke burns him, right? And he's like, yay. He would have to have somebody to go in that lake. Right? So the body.
Can I just add to that?
It's ridiculous.
Can I add to that, mate? So, Return of the Jedi, right? We see the Death Star blown to a billion pieces.
Oh yeah, that's
but somehow part of it has traveled across a galaxy, landed on a planet that's got a big ocean, that's still got the throne room intact, and somebody has managed to create a dagger that guides you to the exact point.
Yeah, I know, it's stupid, isn't it? It's stupid. It's so stupid. Again, right? The logic that, I mean, we know why they did that, because they had to have some kind of conclusion to the crappy writing that they had. But in the first one, there was no excuse. Why would he have Darth Vader's mask there? It's ridiculous. And also, right? Why would Kylo Ren wear a mask? What is the point? We know why Darth Vader wears a mask, but there was nothing wrong with Kylo Ren. Why was he wearing a mask?
They wanted to go, you know, there was no reason for it, but they wanted to go, do you remember Darth Vader? You know, we've got someone that looks a bit similar to Darth Vader, but they forget the fact that Vader was wearing that because it was a life support system for him. You know, but the stupid thing, guys, I want to get your view on this. One of the worst ones was in Last Jedi, where they start they start linking with the Force, so they start passing objects across the universe to each other.
Stupid.
I don't know.
They just made it like an ex machina device where that you could literally use it to do anything, because they needed something to make the plot work. So, the Force, and that was it, and that's what just fell apart. And you knew they didn't understand what the hell they were doing, and they were just throwing stuff at a brainstorming board on the wall and going, "There we go, there's our story, put that out." And they didn't care about it whatsoever. So paying absolutely no attention to the lore and the nature of what Lucas set up with the original movies.
And I really liked the animated Star Wars Rebels and the Clone Wars. I really enjoy them. And did you see one of the writers this week for Clone Wars came out and he basically said, we basically in the writers' room said that it wasn't a good idea to have Sabine in the Ahsoka series become a Jedi, because it would have taken it away from Ezra, and she's already overpowered as it is. Because she's a Mandalorian, and then Mr. Filoni just overrules that, makes her a Jedi, and again, none of it's earned. She suddenly miraculously has that ability, with Ahsoka guiding her, and it's just lazy bollocks, isn't it? Now it's just
that's not Star Wars.
It's never coming back. I mean, you're right. I mean, the George Lucas era, that's Star Wars. The rest is gone. I mean,
there's nothing you can do now.
No. If it was the 90s and they said, right, we're going to do an X-Wing series or a movie, I would be all over it. But now we know, what is that saying? I always say it, but it's our fault for believing that they'll change their ways, and they're not going to, are they?
No way.
It's still going to be the same nonsense that's in it. But
Disney,
we've got the collection.
Disney's bringing out the original Star Wars next year, apparently, for its 50th anniversary. The original Star Wars. The question is it going to be touched like George Lucas had fixed? Is it going to be the original, or is it going to be the George Lucas one where he swapped things and stuff like that? I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do to it. But I tell you one thing though, it's going to make a crap load of money, because people want to see the original Star Wars, and I'm going to be there. Cinema. I don't know about you guys.
Is it going to be the original version, or is it going to be the 97 version with the new effects? Because there's always been this rumor, hasn't there, that George Lucas has stipulated on sale that was never to be released.
Well, it did. It got released in England, didn't it? Because BFI had the copy, didn't they? And they screened it. So, but the thing is, though, the question is, like with Doctor Who, are they going to put something in this when they re-release it for the 50th? Are they going to put little Ray in the background, or a little Finn wandering around? Oh, Finn, stop it! You know what I mean? I don't know what they're going to do. How are they going to? Are they going to change things and piss off the fan base? I don't know, because Back to the Future is pretty successful when they released that in the cinema, and so was Jaws. So are they going to muck around with it? That's the question. And also, another question I wanted to ask you guys: do you reckon they're going to remake Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yes. You reckon?
I think they're going to do it. I think they're at a point now where they are with it now. It's similar to the Doctor Who we've talked about. They could go back and retcon from Peter Capaldi onwards, but they won't do it because that's admitting that they failed. Star Wars now, all the trajectory is still on. There's a Rey film in the future. They cannot turn from that at the moment. So I think their only mindset will be, right, we're going to remake the original trilogy. And my gosh, that'll be one hell of a dumpster fire on it.
It would, wouldn't it?
Bella Ramsey.
The only reason they do it is to try and get on board a new audience, because it would have all new flashy special effects and stuff, and all kids would be used to seeing nothing but the screen saturated with CG, which probably puts off a lot of people. A friend of mine tried to show his daughters, who were in their teens at the time, a few years back, the original trilogy, and they just sat there and laughed at it. because they were just so used to seeing modern day special effects. They just couldn't get past the practical effects, and they just thought it looked hokey and ridiculous. Shamefully they couldn't get past it and couldn't appreciate the story for what it was. So it wouldn't surprise me if Disney attempted to do something like that. They'd probably do A New Hope first to test the water, and because the series now, or the franchise now, has lost so many fans, it doesn't appeal to kids anymore.
No.
The merchandise doesn't sell. The box office numbers are not there. The viewing figures aren't there. The people that like Disney stuff can argue it all they like, but they'll be wrong. The numbers don't lie. And they show how badly that Disney have handled it, and what they've done with the viewing figures and the fan base. Return everyone away, and they've divided it multiple times, basically down to nothing. And it's not worth anything compared to what it was when they bought it now. So if they do try to release A New Hope, it'll be an act of desperation to try and get people on board, and they'll try and bait and switch everyone, bait all the original fans to watch it, because it's Star Wars with new lick of paint with, it's got new actors and stuff. Yeah, but we really want it to be authentic. You go and watch it and it's just full of DEI. Princess Leia being the main character. There'll be new characters here, left, right, and center. Diversity out the wazoo. Everything that made the original great will be missing. They'll water it down. They'll probably try and add
Ruby Rose playing Han
in the background. Yeah. And then it'll fail completely, because the people that they're trying to court, A, aren't interested to begin with, so they'll probably only go and watch it because there's nothing else to watch at the time.
Yeah.
B, the original fans that love it and would say it's sacrilege to remake the originals will watch it, be disgusted, and then completely there'll be a massive outcry. Disney will be damned forever. The YouTubers will make a fortune, and then they won't bother to make The Empire Strikes Back again because the Star Wars was so poorly received, and that would be the end of that project. I think that's what.
Yeah,
I think so too. But also another thing, right, with this new one that's coming out, I can't remember what it's called, Starfighter or something like that.
Yeah.
The question remains: is the Ryan Gosling character going to be manly? Now, I don't think he's going to be. Remember when you watch Star Wars and the first time Han Solo's on screen, he's this guy where he's in command. Who's going to fly it, kid? You? Do you know what I mean? He's like, he's very much, shut up. I'm talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't mess with me. You're not going to get shipped. You're messing with me. Stuff like that. He's very much like that. And especially when he confronted Greedo and shot him under the table, he was very much a man that was the morals didn't apply to him. Right.
Yeah.
And as he went on in that Star Wars thing, you liked him because he was funny and he was tough. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing. Are we going to get a character like that anymore in this new Star Wars?
I think guys, and to answer your question, Ian, I think what will happen is, I already can see what's going to happen. He will be in it. They will advertise it as it's him, it's his show. But then you'll have a female character somewhere where she'll be the best fighter pilot in the galaxy when we think it's him, and she'll save the day. That's what it's going to be coming to. And it'll be, she'll overtalk him. She'll be cocky. She'll do all of that. And she'll be proved right at the end of it. I can see that happening. Han Solo, before we even got to Luke in the Disney sequels, was far worse for me, because what happened was he was a general, when we saw him in the original trilogy. He developed, he'd grown as well as a character throughout that trilogy.
They chucked it all down.
They chucked it down. They made him a pathetic, sad swindler. They even say that in the movie, don't they? They go, your tricks are old, just like you, Solo. And it's like they deliberately dumbed him down because he was such an iconic male, badass,
strong male character. They dumped him down. So we'll never. So Ryan Gosling will probably be crying in his X-wing. Probably, we'll never get. It's true. We'll never get.
You're right.
The likes of Han Solo back. We'll never get the likes of Han Solo back. That's what I'm saying. This is what we need. If they're going to make another Star Wars, they need to have Han Solo, the old gunslinger. They need to have that. They need to do something like that. Otherwise, they're just in the hiding to nowhere. And are you sure, Swappers, that kid's not a girl?
Yeah, it's a boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe that, but okay.
But I see Ryan Gosling, and he doesn't strike me as being a particularly manly man.
No.
At all. He's very metrosexual. And what we need is a John Wayne type character.
Yes,
it doesn't need to be that old, but we need to have someone with those bollocks, I think.
We do.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, just big and making a point. Yeah.
Clint Eastwood kind of character. That's what we need for this. Someone that's like really, 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 really good at what he does and steely, and we need someone like that. Again, right? I know why they picked Ryan Gosling. It's because of he doesn't look manly. He looks very girly.
Yeah.
In everything that he does.
He looks sensitive.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't need that. We don't need that in Star Wars. We need someone to kick ass. That's what we need.
Well, this is I always bring this up, right? And I'll never get tired of saying it, and I hope people never get tired of hearing it. Everyone should have seen it anyway by now, because it's been years. But the game, The Old Republic, came out with a triplet of trailers for it. And each one was about sort of 7 or 8 minutes, and they edited them together to make like a mini movie. If you type in The Old Republic mini movie on YouTube, you can watch it. It is the single greatest Star Wars thing I've ever seen since the original trilogy. It is mind-blowingly great. CG all the way through. But my God, the standard is just mind-blowingly great. It really is. Honestly, I still can't watch it enough times. It's just mind-blowing. It's difficult for me to articulate how great it is. The acting, the motion capture, the level of CG, the choreography, the music, the dialogue, the characterization, all in this tiny little package. It's like 20 minutes. It's better than anything Disney could ever hope to achieve. And you're just watching it and you're looking at the characters thinking, I want to know more about that character. He's great. Oh my God, he's awesome. Who are these guys? He looks evil as fuck. Oh my God, this is just wow. Where's the story going? I love that character. I love this character. You know nothing about them, but already you're ready, to completely adopt these characters on board and watch a whole movie or trilogy of all of this. And it's just, and that's what makes what Disney have done all the more agonizing, because you look at what we could have had,
Is that, Matt, is that the computer game where I remember my brother showed it to me, was years ago, where this ship opens and it's all black inside and all of a sudden all the lightsabers start. It's that's one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when I saw that scene, there was a guy with a cowboy hat as one of the
That's what I'm talking about when you said we need a manly man.
Is that the Old Republic?
Character. Yeah. That's it.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome stuff, mate. I agree with you on that. And again,
where it goes.
Again, I'm a guy that was playing on the PC, over 20 years ago. I was playing Knights of the Old Republic, which is phenomenal. Love it. Yeah. Absolutely love it. And again, I wish we'd get a remaster of that, but we're never going to get it. And I think I've gone back to the books. I've got my, like someone else has said in the chat, I've got my expanded universe novels, and I've done the Thrawn trilogy again. The original Thrawn trilogy, and I'm going back at the moment, and I'm doing the Bane trilogy.
Oh yeah,
so there's great stuff, and I'm quite happy, like you guys now. I think you're probably in the same place where I've got the original Lucas versions of Star Wars.
Yeah, so have I.
I'm okay with that, and then I've got my novels that are always with me, so I can go back to them again and again. That's proper Star Wars with good lore and good characters. Unlike Disney, unless you like Mandalorian episodes where Lizzo turns up in it.
You know what though? It was because we didn't have access that we have now. That's the reason why we loved it so much. I remember watching Star Wars. I think it was after Star Wars. I was desperate for more Star Wars. Obviously, there was no such thing as YouTube or anything like that. No phone. And the closest thing I can get to Star Wars is 1, the soundtrack, and 2, Splinters of the Mind's Eye, where I got that novel and I read that like 6 times. Do you know what I mean? Just wanting more Star Wars, that's the thing. So I love that. I love the art in the front of where it's just the back of their heads, isn't it? And I think it's Darth Vader in the middle. And it just, your imagination goes wild when you look at something like that. You're like, oh wow, yeah. So anyway, that's how we,
And I was just going to say, Mr. Brown Alliance is here. Good to see you, my friend. If you haven't already done so, make sure you like and subscribe on Mr. Brown Alliance. He does some great stuff over there. So make sure you do so. And I was also going to say, Professor R2, put a link in the chat for your channel as well, because you do great stuff. So it'd be good to send the love your way as well.
John, I was just going to ask you, have you seen the re-edits of Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back by the legendary independent filmmaker and SFX artist Adiwan? Have you seen the Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back revisited?
Have you not?
No.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
Great. Thanks.
It's a new way of watching it.
John, just prioritize both of these films this weekend, right? Just prioritize them.
I'm down for it. Stuff the rest of the podcast in. I'm down.
Yeah.
Seriously,
that takes priority. Good Star Wars.
What he did with Star Wars and Empire, especially Empire Strikes Back, we add those new things in the Walker fight and stuff like that. Just pretty. And he literally got people wearing the costumes and he shot them on green screen and stuff like that. So that's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
He completely reconstructed his own scenes and edited them in. I swear to you now, right? You'll be watching it and they fit so seamlessly into the original movies. You'll be sitting there and they'll go past and you'll go, hang on a minute, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
And you go back and watch it and go, what? And it's just like it's like the original scenes that were there originally and they've just been released in a special edition that you never saw. That's what it's like. It's that good. Yeah. And he's corrected so many continuity mistakes.
You know what, right?
Corrected it and all sorts.
I was watching Empire Strikes Back and they answered my question. How the hell did I get out of the walkers? How do people get out of it? And it answered my question in that version. So do you remember, Swappers, so basically when you see the walkers, you wonder how they get in it, how the people get in it and how people get out of it.
Yeah.
And in the Empire Strikes Back, you see how they get out of it.
I can't remember.
Where the thing opens. Yeah, the thing opens. It opens at the side. Anyway, watch it again.
Yeah.
Because I always wondered how people got in there because there's no ladder. There's no, you know what I mean? It's like, how did I get in there? So so there you go. So but yeah,
I'm always up for watching that again anyway. So
it's really good Adderwood versions. I haven't got. I don't think I got the Return of the Jedi one, but I got Empire and Star Wars.
Yeah, Return of the Jedi isn't finished yet. I think they're still working on it. So
okay.
I'm hoping
that sounds like perfect Christmas kind of stuff for me, to be honest with you.
Do it. I'll tell you what, you've got a treat ahead of you, John. Really.
Oh yeah. I've got the 4K versions from Disney. This is when they were playing silly beggars, when they deliberately didn't put Dolby Vision on it because they wanted people to watch it on the streaming service Disney Plus, where they were doing Dolby Vision.
Yeah.
So it's like, you bastards. But I've still got the Blu-ray set, which is great.
We'll never chuck this away though. This is DVD. There was the gold one and there's the silver one. I got the silver one. Do you remember?
Yeah.
So I'll never chuck that away. Definitely exclusive and original artwork postcards.
Nice.
Which I will never take out.
Well, I mean, the annoyance of what Disney have done to the franchise as like it's drilled away at me so badly because I thought, as a creative and someone with an imagination, like most people, I just thought. I came up with so many theories and ideas of where the story could have gone after The Force Awakens, and where I thought, because I assumed there were competent people working on it, where it would go. And then, of course, when we got The Last Jedi, I just thought, what the hell is this crap? Of all the stuff that we had Rogue One, which was genuinely quite a good film, if you don't analyze it too much. And in the Rebels and Clone Wars shows and stuff. And I thought, okay, well, it seems like they've got the head screwed on with this. I'm up for finding out what they're going to do with Episode 8. And then what on earth, and it just nosedived after that. And because I was so incensed at what they did, it begged belief. I was tearing my hair out thinking, how can this happen? How can this happen to Star Wars? I think it was one day I was to start writing in a book at work because I was so bored. There was nothing going on. And I had all these ideas of what they could have done with what characters and stuff. And then my imagination just spiraled. And before I knew it, I started writing a novel. And Ian knows about this. But I've only just recently started putting it into a full cast audio drama because, we weren't going to get it from Disney. So, and as you say, John, Disney's and Star Wars is gone. It's never coming back. And I think it's down to independent people now with imaginations to actually try and recapture it for true fans and make stories that are worth making and worth telling, that are genuinely worth hearing. So, as one of those people, I consider myself, I've just set about this sort of kind of epic journey now to try and do this. Hence the my avatar on the screen. But if anyone wants to listen to it, then it's obviously on my channel. You might appreciate it if you do give it a shot.
Yeah, make sure you do just give a shout out to your channel, mate, because get some subs and likes into you, because we got to encourage this, because like I say, we're not going to get it from Disney. We need independent people that are just going to try and create new enjoyable stuff, and it's like, Ian, you fall into that category as well with Rebecca Gold.
I'll try.
But I was gonna say, you probably know this as well, but under Lucas was obviously a fan of letting people do their independent creations for Star Wars, and he didn't put any limits on it. They could create their own videos and vision. Disney, within the last couple of years, they put restrictions on now, so it can be no longer than 30 minutes. So again, they're just trying to curtail the creative stuff. It's probably because they realize that the independent stuff is 10 times better than their crap.
I think so. I mean, all of my stuff's like in incremental episodes. So it's like I guess an audio drama series. So they're all sort of under a certain amount of time anyway. Not that it's video. I think it probably gets under the radar if it's video, not full video. If it's not a video like a fan film or something like that, it probably wouldn't get flagged at all. So at least I've got that. But yeah, you're right. They just realised that there's people out there with far more creative ability that aren't getting paid and making this stuff for free than people that are getting millions to write a pile of dreck.
Yeah, I swear they're using Grok and Chat GPT now for the bulk of it. I really do.
It's like on X they put up a thing. What did you really think of the Acolyte? And then I clicked on, because there's loads of comments, and I clicked on it, and someone was going, I didn't think it was too bad, and the other one was like, yes, it wasn't too bad, blah blah blah. And I was thinking, what? And I click on them, and they're bona fide X things, but I reckon they're all bots.
Probably
they're all bots.
Yeah.
And if you go down further, you'll see people going, it was a pile of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Further down, it's just the top bit as all the people lying about it's absolute shit. But there you go.
It's like the official BBC site for Doctor Who, like on X. They were doing a similar thing. So they were basically, people were complaining about how crap it is, and they were just deleting the comments, and people were screenshotting it, and then it was all like loads of, oh, this is the best thing ever, oh, I'm so glad we've got proper Doctor Who. And it's like, we see you, we know what you're doing, and they all do it. Disney do it, they all do it. Rotten Tomatoes, they've been caught out with fixing the rankings, haven't they, the votes. So,
and also Superman as well, the latest Superman film. I remember going through Facebook, and it's like, what do you think of Superman? There's all these people, it was great, I really enjoyed it, blah blah blah. And I was thinking, nah, that can't be right. Next thing I know, go further down, there's the real comments, absolute bollocks, total shit. You know what I mean? Right, the real ones as you go down.
I think I was watching a Nerdrotic a few weeks back, and I think they talked about Rotten Tomatoes, and they said, you've got the critics bit where they talk about their reviews of it, and it's like, I think they say that's the paid shills who have been, they've had cream cakes at the premiere, and special limited edition gift bags and stuff like that. So surprisingly, they give it a high score.
Oh yeah.
And then you got the others that are just the general viewers, and you're right, they start trying to add a load in. You're right, a lot of them are bots now,
but
clearly.
it does work. I'll give you an example. I went to see Beverly Hills Cop 4 in the cinema. I mean, my friend Keith, he's part of BAFTA, so he got me, I went with him. And I did enjoy it when I saw it in the cinema, because the crowd was they laughed at every joke. The crowd was well into seeing Axel Foley back. And then when I came out of the cinema, I thought it was all right, but there's certain things I didn't like about it. And it's only when I sat down to watch it again on Netflix, I realized how bad it was. So it does work that when you invite a crowd in, you could fool them for a certain amount of time. But then when you look at it closely, it's basically shit. It's basically woke crap. That's basically what it is. So Yeah, so that's why you got people going. It's great when you give them gift bags and popcorn and shit like that, because they just remember the first impressions, don't they? So anyway,
they do. Like Rings of Power. They'll go, Tolkien would have been so proud, and it's like, yeah, we see you.
Yeah, but they had all these people where it was like, yes, diversity. Oh yes, blah blah. And it's like, this is, what are you talking about? Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. That's what they had. So anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But I mean, other than that, guys, is there anything else you wanted to bring up on the show? Anything you've seen this week or you're watching this week that you want to bring up?
I don't know. What I've been watching this week. I've been watching Christmas things, but I already mentioned that.
Yeah.
I don't know. What about you, Swappers? You seen anything?
Have either of you guys got any particular movies that you're looking forward to seeing this Christmas season at all? Or planning that you might have already seen that you're just planning to watch again?
Just going to be the usual Trading Places and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And then Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Lethal Weapon.
Exactly. And as I said, before, I kind of group in Planes, Trains and Automobiles in the UK because we don't have Thanksgiving, so it's a Christmas movie for me. I mean, Santa Claus the movie and Gremlins and loads more. But I think I'm going to
say that Die Hard,
2, Die Harder,
and Lethal Weapon trilogy.
Oh yeah,
the trilogy. But actually, the fourth one's rubbish. I think the fourth one's in there as well. But I mean, there's no way I'm not going to watch these two at Christmas. I'm going to watch the first 2 Lethal Weapon films because I thought they were great. The third one was so-so. The fourth one was absolute bollocks. Die Hard. Yeah. I might not watch Die Hard. I might watch Die Hard 2 this year.
I might watch Lethal Ian 3 this weekend. Actually,
yeah,
looks like a good movie.
Definitely.
If you've never seen it, I can definitely recommend an amazing animated Christmas movie I saw for the first time a couple of years ago called Klaus.
Yes, I've seen it. I love it.
Oh, okay. I've heard of it. I've not seen it.
It is beautiful. The story is a bit of a tearjerker as well, but it's so well made. I recommend it to everyone. I think there's a great independent movie out there called oh God, I'm trying to remember the name of it, and I haven't seen it yet, but I'm looking forward to watching it this year because I didn't have enough time to watch it last year, and you kind of don't want to watch it during the summer, do you? A film that's themed like that, called what's it called? Lost something or other. I need to have a look it up. I was going to say Lost Profits, but it's not that. It's like Lost. Lost.
It's a Christmas film.
It is, yeah. I can't remember. Not Lost Postcards. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, I'll quickly try and have a look it up. But it's definitely one that I've been recommended loads and loads of times. So if you're looking for a new movie, a new experience, for that period, which I always am, then give it a shot. I'll just look it up now. Talk amongst yourself. I'll just
Violent Night was quite good.
It was a bit woke, wasn't it? But it was good entertainment.
Yeah, it was a bit woke, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Bad Santa, I'll be watching.
Well, yeah, there are films that are a bit woke, but it doesn't really spoil the entire film. I hate the ones that are completely woke and it's so obvious that's what they were doing. I just switch off. Again, Christmas movies. Again, as I said, I'd watch some of the old ones. I love the old films and stuff. I love what they say, and I love the purity of the old films as well. Rather than here's my two uncles, like fuck off. Do you know what I mean? So that kind of thing. But I mean,
as I said earlier, I'll watch Christmas Chronicles again purely because Kurt Russell's one of my favorite actors.
The first one was good. The first one was good. The second one was woke. It was completely woke, in my opinion. Mrs. Santa Claus, better than Santa Claus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
the first one was great.
I just reminded me as well, because you were talking on Mr. Brown's channel earlier in the week. You were saying about that apparently they're going to be doing a sequel to The Thing.
Apparently. No, well, they had an interview with John Carpenter, and he did say that there's something that there was written and that he might do it, but I don't think anyone is going to give him money to make it. There isn't at that point at the moment. But if they do The Thing again, I don't know. I don't know what they can do with it.
No,
Kurt Russell will probably do it.
I mean, they could change the location instead of having it in the Arctic. They could probably come up with something new, but it'd have to be completely banned, gatekeep any DEI from it. Otherwise, it's doomed from the outset.
Yeah.
You're done. You know, no one's going to bother with it.
But also,
go on.
Do you know what? Right. Talking about sequels, okay. If they make this, okay, because you know John Carpenter's really good with the down ending kind of thing. So so it'll be Blumhouse is putting money into it, Ian. Okay. Well, that might be quite good. But do you ever watch it was an Planet of the Apes movie? It was the second one. Did you see the ending of the second one? How depressing! How depressing is that?
and well, it was also like the later one. I forget which one it was, but the one where the apes take over and they're killing the humans. They cut it. They cut a scene from it because you literally see the apes coming in and they're savagely just beating the humans to death. And they cut it from the original run. But that's that original lot is dark.
In the second one, right, the lead in the second one, he's shooting at the apes, right? And the apes just shoot him. He's just like, he's dead. And then you got what's his name? I can't remember. Charlton Heston
holding his heart in.
And he's like, and he pushes the button and the bomb goes. That's how it ends. You're like, what? What is this?
I always remember that. And I was always thinking to myself, because obviously he didn't want to be in it at all, did he?
No.
So that's why he only cameoed in it. But it was a really dark movie.
Very dark.
I mean, they were kind of redeemed by the final movie in the series, weren't they? Which ended really well, I thought. So they kind of rewrote the future. So all those bad things that we saw didn't really technically happen.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to come out and say it, guys. The mutant that had the hot blonde face mask on. I would.
Keep it on tonight, love.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's either that or the Tesco bag.
But you know, they used to do a lot of bad endings in the 70s, didn't they? A lot of films ended badly in the 70s, didn't it? So
it was like the trend.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, it was kind of a trend, really.
I found that movie, by the way. It's called Rare Exports. Check that one out. Stick it on a list. Yeah, it's supposed to be really good. If you haven't seen it, but I've just got also looked up an alternative selection. I thought Gremlins obviously is a great go-to movie. I saw it for the first time in like decades, a couple of years ago when I was in the States. Yeah, me and my friends over there watched it, and I forgot how good it was. Oh, just such a brilliant film. The Long Kiss Goodnight was also set at Christmas.
Christmas, yeah.
That's another one to rewatch. I've only seen that once, and I thought it was great as well.
Yeah.
Obviously Lethal Weapon and Die Hard. Black Christmas, 1974 horror film, which I've never seen.
It's a horror, yeah. It's a horror.
And Violent Night, obviously we saw that. That was quite fun. Apparently, this is weird. Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, no. Yeah, that is set at Christmas.
I've never watched it, so maybe I'll give it a go this year because I've been meaning to watch it anyway. But since it is set at that year, About a Boy as well, which I thought was all right, and apparently another one called The Apartment, which I've never heard of. So
is that the 40s one with Jack Lemmon?
It might be. It doesn't say. It says classic Billy Wilder film.
Yes, it's Jack Lemmon and what's that actress's name? She's a famous actress. She's in it as well. Yeah, it's set at Christmas time. It's okay. Yeah.
No excuse not to watch something new, I think.
Yeah, I just like the old movies. Just like watching the old movies. Sorry, mate.
Another one is Schwarzenegger action movie End of Days, where he fights the devil.
Oh yeah,
that's set at Christmas.
So
yeah.
So I don't mind that movie. It gets a lot of bad press, but it's not too bad.
Another good movie which I've not been watching at Christmas time, which I should, is Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah.
With the remake. I don't like the original. I thought the original was okay, but the remake is better with Richard Attenborough in it. He plays Santa, which I think is really, really good. Very, very sweet movie. So that's another one that people forget exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Elf.
I think Ghostbusters 2 is also a Christmas movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is that set at Christmas?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I forgot.
I'm gutted. You know what? I'm honestly really gutted to this day that we never got a Ghostbusters and Gremlins crossover. How great would that have been?
Oh, that would have been superb. You know, I did recently the Ghostbusters video game from 2007 that they remastered a few years back, and they had all the cast back, and they wrote the script for it, and it was official, the kind of official at the time Ghostbusters 3. It's so good. So good.
Yeah.
I've got that on Switch, actually. I've stopped playing it because I've been writing. I haven't had a chance to play video games. But yeah, maybe this Christmas I'll give myself a chance to just sit down and game a little bit, and I'll get on that.
But the first Ghostbusters had that spontaneity with the dialogue and stuff. It was very much them making it up as they went along. And there's some really nice little, it was some nice little bits in there. You know, the bit where they see the librarian for the first time, and then Bill Murray goes, "What are we going to do?" And they don't know what they're going to do. It's like
he hits the device.
He says, "Stop! What the hell are we going to do?" So it's some nice moments in there. Some moments that you can tell it isn't scripted and stuff. So I mean, that's what makes it. Yeah, it does. It really makes the film.
And the soundtrack as well is mind blowing for that film.
Yes.
You know, it's not your typical kind of obvious pop songs in it either. I was listening to a track today on a random playlist. What's it called? From the movie, just absolutely superb. It's like a metal cover version of it. It's the tune where they're turning up at the building. They're all got their packs on. It's like near the end.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's absolutely awesome tune. It really is.
You know, where is that where they climb out and it's like, you know, the it's upbeat and it's like, you know, they want to get rough, we'll get rough, or you know, and it's playing at that point. I really like the music they do as well when you've got Sigourney Weaver, obviously on the rubble above, you know, in a orange sort of dress where she's possessed. And then you start seeing all of the orbs and everything flying around the city, and it's got that, you know, is it like it's magic? Magic, you know, different kind of sort of 80s music then as well, and there as well. And it's Ghostbusters is just superb. I never get tired of that film.
Richard Edlund was pissed, wasn't he, because they couldn't finish the effects. So when you see that ghost come out of the subway, you can see all the matte lines around it, the little squares around it.
Yeah.
And so he was pissed because they didn't have time to finish it because the Columbia wanted it out at a certain time. But it still doesn't spoil my enjoyment of watching the film. And didn't they have 4 takes when he says, "We came, we saw, we kicked his ass"? He had to do it 4 times, and he kept changing it, but they ended up with "kicked his ass" in the film. And on TV, it's got a different version, isn't it? On TV, so I mean, it's all those nice little small bits that they make up, you know. Like I don't think that was in the script where he goes to Is it Jenny? Who's the secretary?
Janine.
He goes, Janine, type something. We're paying for this stuff. Do you know what I mean? So he's just sitting there doing nothing. Do you know what I mean?
I love it when she goes from like when they get their first call and they're all like super excited and running around and dead enthusiastic. And then like later in the movie, she just picks up the phone and goes, "Ghostbusters, what do you want?"
Yeah.
And
that tune's called "Saving the Day," by the way, if you haven't heard it.
That's it.
And there's a great tune as well where all the spirits get released from the containment unit in the firehouse, and they're all flying across the city. And Dana kind of walks up to the window and she sees all the lights coming across. That tune they got playing right there is like, oh my God, it's so great. Yeah.
Also, the ad lib bit as well was with Bill Murray in the mayor's office where he goes, "It's true, this man has no dick." You know, that was all ad libbed as well, isn't it? It's brilliant stuff.
I really love the scene where the first time they go to the library and Beckman's late, and what's his name? Egon's got his stethoscope on the desk, and he comes on and he goes, "Ooh," and he throws the Bible, some book on the table, and that was quite funny as well.
Yeah, great.
I mean, again, there's so many great parts of that movie. I mean, the bit where he's doing the psychic test with the electric shock therapy.
But iconic. That's creepy though now, isn't it? Because that girl was a
People
student
do it.
and he was an adult, and I'm like, this girl's 17 and this guy's what? How old? Do you remember
he
that
was
bit where
in his 30s?
Yeah, something like that. Remember the bit where he goes, Ray, we got to do. Yeah, he interrupts him, didn't he? And he
Yeah.
literally jumps in the air and slaps him on the head, doesn't he? And he says, "Can't you
Yeah.
see I'm in the middle of something?" He's trying to chat
Yeah.
up that 17-year-old, which is creepy. So let's face it.
Again, they wouldn't allow scenes now where Bill Murray and is basically chatting up Sigourney Weaver in her apartment, where he's like, "Oh, I'm madly in love with you," and he goes, "I love all that," because he's going,
I think they would.
She knocked me down. I'm going to go for the big one. I'm madly in love with you.
Doesn't she? She says something like, "I want you inside me," or something like that. He goes,
like
"It sounds like it's pretty crowded. I think I'll skip." Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's a pretty good film. And I said that those three made it work. The three of them, again, right? It's something. It's like lightning in a bottle with that one, isn't it? The second one was okay. It wasn't great because
it was more kiddie friendly, wasn't it?
Yeah, they didn't have the theme in there. I don't think there was a dispute or something that they couldn't have. They had Bobby Brown do some Ghostbusters song
on our own,
80s nonsense, whatever. But I don't know. Yeah, first one is always the one for me anyway. The first Ghostbusters.
I'll never get tired of that film ever.
Yeah,
it's a very good movie. Yeah,
classic. Again,
it's brilliant.
Again, I'm just glad I grew up in a time when we were getting movies like that they were being greenlit by execs who were willing to take chances. I don't, and again, we've talked so many times about it, but I don't think we're ever going to see a time like that again. I really don't. Where we're going to see these sort of films coming out, But it's a different time now as well,
Yeah.
Us three on the panel and probably people in the chat, we're from a time where, and we've talked about this before, I think, Ian, as well, where we loved going to the cinema. Cinema was a big experience for us. And I don't think it's that excitement with the current generation. They've got their own things that they prefer to do.
TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok. That's what they've got. TikTok
and terrible, isn't it? Well, I can't believe that passes for entertainment. I mean, it was different. The world was different, wasn't it? We were very limited with entertainment. What we had in the 70s and 80s and 90s. And 90s kind of added video games and home video to the mix. So I guess cinema maybe took a hit, but I was still going regularly. Well, every week I was seeing at least one movie. There was something.
Yeah, so was I. So was I.
And I was still getting that buzz from going, you kind of on your way there and you're thinking like, oh, there's the big building with all the screens and I'm going to see something fantastic on a huge screen with a great sound system with a load of people that also want to see it, with a popcorn. Yeah. It's just an amazing, exciting experience for like just a couple of hours a week. It means so much. And I remember, God, when I first went when I was about 4 or 5 years old, my dad took me to see maybe Close Encounters, either Close Encounters, Superman. I can't remember which one it was. Either Close Encounters, Superman, or The Rescuers. It was one of those movies. We all went to watch it, and it was like, for that age in single digits, it is just like, what is this huge building with all these people, and I can hear booms coming from the base and adjacent screens and the smell of popcorn and all these people coming and going. What is this place? All these stairs going up, these posters of all these things, and it's a flood of sensory overload almost when you're going in there when you're that age, and it hits you and it becomes part of your DNA and you never lose it. Still as an adult, going to the cinema is just one of the most exciting experiences. I could probably say that now if I went back. And unfortunately, cinemas seem to have changed an awful lot now. They look like you're inside a shopping mall, unfortunately.
It's very clinical.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It felt much more, a lot more different. It felt there was like the spirit of ancient movies gone, bygones in sort of sweeping around in the ether around you as you're walking in there.
I miss old school cinemas.
Yeah.
The moment when I realized I was a grown up when I went to the cinema was when I went to see Pulp Fiction. That's when I realized that I was a grown up watching grown up movies, and it was packed. It was the cinema down Shaftesbury Avenue, and we'd booked our tickets, and we were in the foyer, and you couldn't move. The foyer was packed with people, and when we went into the screen, every seat was taken to see Pulp Fiction. And it was kind of like, that's when I realized that I have grown up from Blade Runner, Star Wars, as Matt said, Rescuers, Herbie, and all that stuff. And now I'm watching something that is considered to be adult. And it wasn't Reservoir Dogs that made me think I was an adult. For some reason, it was Pulp Fiction. For some reason, I don't know why, but it was Pulp Fiction.
It was
and when
kind
I
of
saw
a bit more of an arty kind of movie, wasn't it? I suppose.
Yeah. I liked it
Yeah.
when I saw it, but I wasn't overwhelmed by it like everybody else was. But I still liked it, and I've watched it numerous times. The story I skip is always the Butch one with because I think the ending of that story is good, but the rest of it, when they're talking in the hotel for like I don't know how long, it's just like, no, that doesn't work for me. But I did like it.
I haven't seen a crowded cinema like you just mentioned since Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, same here.
It was. I walked in there. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I just thought, what on earth? Like, you never normally see this many people in the cinema, and it's because that was probably one of the last times we ever saw a big franchise movie gathering where people have a big turnout because it's an event. When was the last time? I can't remember anything like that.
Yeah, I remember I went with my nieces and they were saying, they heard that somebody died, and they were like, I hope it's not so and so. And my niece Jamie, her favorite character, and she's a girl, was Iron Man, right?
Yeah.
And when we were watching the film and Iron Man died, she was bawling her eyes out. She was crying. She was like, I think she was 7 at the time. She was crying her eyes out and stuff like that. I had to buy an ice cream afterwards so she could calm down. So that's what I'm saying. This idea that girls can only like girl characters, and a film about gay people can only be directed by a gay person. A film with black people can only be directed by a black person. It's all bollocks. It's absolute nonsense. You give the job to the right person. It doesn't, regardless of their sexuality.
This is what happens, isn't it? When you feminize an IP, you lose. You don't just lose the men. You lose the women as well, because the women loved it the way it was. So you end up making something that appeals to nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what they did. Yeah, exactly what they did.
And again, they gave us, that end game. They gave us that that lovely little herald to the future where we had the girl bosses doing it for saving the day. That was our little highlight of a prophecy of what was to come.
So the biggest cheer in the cinema in Endgame, I don't know about you guys, was the bit where Captain America catches Thor's hammer. The crowd went crazy. You couldn't even hear yourself. They were screaming so loud. It was absolutely ridiculous. It really was. They just went mental when that happened.
And this is where the Doomsday movie that's coming, what is it, next year? That's going to fail. And the reason it's going to fail is the reason Endgame was so successful is because you had that 10-year period where you developed the characters, you got to know the characters, you loved the characters, and that final showdown where, like you say, Cap lifts up the hammer and everyone cheers. I did that, but there's also the bit with the sacrifice of Tony Stark, because he was criticized for wanting to put a shield around the planet with Ultron. But yet he was kind of proven right in a way by what happened and what came. But then he makes the ultimate sacrifice to do what he needs to do. It's fantastic stuff, but you cared about the characters, you were invested. Now you've got what I call the trans woke era.
Yeah.
I couldn't care if any of them survive to the end of it. In fact, I'll be cheering if they get bumped off.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true.
It's crazy.
It's none of it's earned.
It's like Rey in Star Wars, isn't it? We're all supposed to want to root for her and be happy when she wins, and we're just like, someone please kill her, please.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, it could have worked beautifully if Daisy Ridler's not an ugly girl. They could have made her look more feminine. They could have made her look.
Ian, who is that? Daisy Riddler.
Riddler. Daisy Ridley, like Ridley
character.
No, I was just saying they could have made her look so much better, made her look more feminine, made her look, I don't know, because it just didn't want to appeal to us males. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous, even at the ending. And also they literally had to rub it in the last one where Princess Leia knocked Luke Skywalker on his ass when they were training.
Yeah.
you remember that scene?
Yeah.
It's
They had to send that one home to us, didn't they? Just to finish things off.
Absolute shit.
And it's like I got to the end of that film, and it's like, so hang on a minute, you've got Imperial starships that have got weapons that now can destroy entire planets. Okay, thanks for that, JJ. But also they can come straight through the earth of the planet without being damaged whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you've got the Emperor, who's this evil, sinister being who can resurrect himself from his death, and yet she holds two lightsabers together and melts his face off. And says she's a Skywalker. Can you see why we're not invested in your trilogy?
What about space horses? That was another one. I was like, what the hell's that all about? Space horses. What the fuck?
It was even worse on the Last Jedi when they're spending the entire portion of the movie running on the giant, llamas or whatever they were.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
For nothing. And it's like, I went with a mate, right, to just drop this one in. I went to see that with a mate of mine, another Star Wars fan, and we sat there, and at the end of it, we just looked at each other and we were like, what the bloody hell was that? It's like car chase in space,
Yeah.
And it was that terrible. And the thing that really, really, really hacked me off was that stupid joke that they did with the ironing board, where the ship, it looks like a ship landing and it's actually just cleaning in imperial trousers or something like that.
And what about that bit where we need fuel for our ships? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then you got Princess Leia, being, floating in space, and I was like, this is just rubbish. What the hell's going on here?
And they've put, they've put some cloaking shields to hide the shuttle ships to get off that they're using. They're refueling from the main ship to get them away to the planet. But hang on a minute. Do the Imperials or the First Order, do they not look out windows? They've got a big bridge with a glass window.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. The whole thing was absolutely ridiculous. The second one, really, after watching the second one, I didn't want to watch the third one. But it was
Mary
my sister,
Poppins, Leia.
Yeah. My sister wanted me to go and see the last one. She wanted to go and see it. She dragged me to see it. And I've never been so disappointed and so I really wanted to vomit after watching it.
You see, the thing is, right, I wasn't disappointed with that movie at all because my expectations were like below the gutter.
So low. Yeah.
JJ came back. I thought he was going to fix stuff, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't fix anything, did he?
One silver lining, it pretty much put the kibosh on him getting offered for movies anytime soon, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it did. Yeah. Luckily, I didn't pay to watch that film. Thank God.
Oh, I had to pay my sister to watch that film. It's just bloody awful. It's the same thing with Superman as well. It's dragged 5 times to see that nonsense.
I would have asked for
my cousins, my sister, my nephews. Uncle Ian, you're going to come see the film with us?
And I wanted to say, I mean, that's it for tonight, everybody. It's been a blast. Swappers, you're welcome on anytime. It's been great having you on tonight, buddy. I also want to say, before I ask these guys to recommend their channels, you might have heard some news, and we talked about earlier in the show that there's a new Stargate series on the way, and this channel does a live watch party on Sundays. So it's at 12:30 PST for your USA viewers, and it's 8:30 PM here in the UK. So what we do, we watch it live in our Discord server, and then we all comment and chat along in the YouTube live chat. So come along, join us. If you love Stargate, it's just a good laugh. Everyone's just enjoying Stargate episodes. We do 2 episodes per week, and we're going to have a bit more of a chat on Sunday because we're going to be talking about the news of the new series. So come and check it out. Ian, tell us again about where people can find Rebecca Gold and all your shenanigans for that. Yeah.
It's on YouTube. You can watch Rebecca Gold and the season 1 on YouTube. I'd say we've made a feature film, of Rebecca Gold. The story continues from the season 1, but with a different actress playing Rebecca Gold because the other one got pregnant and we couldn't use her. So it's finished. It's finished, and I like it, but it remains to be seen if you guys will like it. Now the plan is that what I'm going to do is there's going to be a screening on the 6th of December. If you've had anything to do with it and you can make it the screening in London, then by all means come. I'll let you know the venue soon. But if you have paid for it, you've given money for it, then basically drop me a line and I'll give you a link so you can watch it. And then what I might do, and I say I might release the film for a week on YouTube and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Because I need to make money back on this, and there are a few distributors that want it. So yeah, I don't know whether I should give it away, tell you the truth. I don't really trust distributors. But anyway, that's beside the point. Point is, it'd be nice to hear your thoughts, even if it's bad ones.
Support him, guys. Make sure you subscribe and you check it out, because
it doesn't cost you anything to sub. You sub,
if
you sub. You know, there's other stuff on my channel as well.
So it's not going to be serialized like the first season, is it?
No, it's a movie. It's a movie. It's got a start, middle, and end.
Yeah,
and it's a pretty good movie, actually. I think. But yeah,
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, exactly. Make sure you support him, because he's done some great stuff with that. So I, for one, am looking forward to seeing it when it's out. That'll be great.
You'll come to the screening, right?
Yeah, I'm coming to the screening, mate. So I'll be there. Because you haven't told anyone about my cameo yet, have you? At the end,
no.
Coming in as the big bad for the next movie.
He got killed in the other one, but he's back.
Yeah. Somehow Yulden returned. Yeah, exactly. But Swappers, tell everyone about your channel and where you can be found again, my friend.
Yes, indeed. I've got my regular channel, which is under my name, but it's not. I don't really post anything there. All my the stuff that I create creatively is on Star Wars Revisited, Star Wars Retold on YouTube. Revisited is made by Addy One, which everyone should go and check out anyway. But Star Wars Retold, and it's a serialization of my own ideas for the sequel trilogy, starting from episode 7 onwards. So the end of episode 7, it continues from that point. I think if you haven't seen it, you might be pleasantly surprised with what you hear. But it's a full cast audio drama, so it's not like a narrated novel. It does have little bits of narration in there to help out help you realize what's happening. But mostly it's all the characters' voices, sound effects, music, everything like that. So I try to make it as immersive as possible, but it's labor of love. A lot of hard work goes into it, and it's on chapter 11 at the moment. So jump on if you haven't heard or seen any of it yet. We really appreciate your sub and your view.
Yeah, make sure you do, everyone. Sounds great. I'm certainly going to be doing that myself, mate.
Cheers,
so yeah, definitely. So everyone in the chat, likewise for here. It's been great having you here. If you've enjoyed the show and you haven't already, please like it and subscribe. Also put some comments in as well, because it does help the channel. And then we will see you again, like anyone who wants to join us for Stargate, as I said, on Sunday. Otherwise, we will see you next week. But look after yourselves. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Bye-bye.